just to clarify, the audience can now hear us. Do you want us to continue this
Hello.
conversation, Linzabi, or not?
It's all I can say. All I can say is living with a narcissist is a bad thing.
It is. I just wanted to make sure if you want us to continue or move on to something else more interesting.
We can move on. We can move on to something else because hey.
Okay.
The new young cat in my house has been exploring. He's learning how not to knock things over.
Okay, and then while we're doing pregame,
Mm.
I'm going to go assign artists pictures.
Yeah, I saw you putting out a call for some new pickies.
I put that out to see if anybody had any input and to give you time to give me input.
Yeah.
Nobody did, so I'm just gonna go with what I got.
Yarg. Interesting to see what they do with the house.
Oh, you mean house style? You wanted feedback on the house style? That was not made explicitly clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am personally not very artistically minded at all, as anyone who's worked with me on a commission basis can attest. Like, I have ideas, and then I tend to let artists do what, I'm happy to go with their interpretation most of the time. I'm quite.
I mean, it's Germanic, given that the place we're located in is German inspired. I'm presuming it's vaguely Germanic architecture. That would be about my only thought. I mean,
yeah.
I just realized that this is this entire game world is really just Call of Cthulhu in medieval times, with people having actual access to magic.
Yeah,
and some minor technology.
Yeah, if I think about the more built-up areas of the empire, I definitely think of like Bavarian Germany in terms of like an aesthetic.
Maybe a little Austria.
Right. Let's start getting.
The empire's got that whole Central European vibe going on there.
Yeah, you head more towards Ostland. It probably has more of like your Baltic feel, I definitely imagine.
Mm-hmm. And of course, let's face it, Kislev is all of the Slavic lands slapped into one.
Yes.
It's not Kislev, it's Slovenia.
And they mentioned Estalia, which is like, they put Spain and Italy kind of lumped into one big mess.
It's so wild because, like, you look at the world building
is more
in the
Italy.
RPG books, and like Estalia and Talea have got so much lore, but it's just never touched the main battle game for some reason beyond like mentions in the Dogs of War books. But like, the RPG settings have done so much with those countries.
Mm-hmm. It's so that you can actually play around out, the travels, depending on where the game master gets you. I mean, it'd be funny.
Hoping that they do that with the old world, the mini game, like, because they don't want. They've already said they don't want to cross over super with a lot of the races that are heavily represented in AOS. So I'm hoping they use that as an excuse to really flesh out the side factions in the old world. So I am hoping for an actual Talayan army for old world. I would collect the shit out of that.
Well, I even watched a thing today based on 40K, which talked about an alien race that they won't make it into an army of because, well, they're a little too similar to the Nids, is their behavior and such.
Yeah, I can think of at least 3 that meet that description.
The Crave. They're called the Crave. the bat people.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Basically, big nasty space vampires because they come to
Yeah.
planets to feed, take what they need, load their ship up, and then leave. But the ships may have decent firepower, but according to the lore, their ships suck at defense. So,
yeah, just to address Alex in chat, it's not the rat goal. The rat goal are pretty fucking cool, but I don't think they could justify being a whole army, especially because they're only found in one area of space, and that is, I cannot remember the name of the sector off the top of my head, but it is the sector that the Rogue Trader and Death Watch games are set in.
yeah.
The Fantasy Flight RPGs. So, as cool as the rat goal are, and they are fucking cool, but yeah, they are a tiny species, and they're even more insignificant than the Tau.
Mm-hmm. And it's also, what's the other race that they have, like the Marines holding off at their area, that one area of space? They're kind of like a berserker species. I'm trying to remember the name. It's been a while since I looked. They seem like they might make a good potential hostile race, but again, just stuff that you can use for like maybe some role play if you can figure it out.
I can't really remember either, but in Rogue Trader, the RPG version, there's in that sector there's a Xenos race that are kind of nomadic merchanty types, and I wish I could remember the name because the whole official Imperium stance on them is okay, they're weird, we don't like them, but they're also technically not a threat, so just leave them alone and we'll exterminate them when we've got less problems to deal with.
Well, I know the Tau have access in their Battlefield Gothic to the one race. They look like polar bears, but they're psychers, and they're called the Nikasar.
God, I love the Nikasar. They are fantastic.
And then, of course, the Demiurgs.
Ah, the Votan.
Well, I think really the Demiurg, I saw some artwork of what a Demiurg should look like, and they look more they were very alien sort of squats. So they're not
So that has actually been addressed in the launched Votan Codex. I had to read through the lore. They have confirmed that the Demiurg are the Votan. They are the same.
Oh, so they've decided to update them into the leagues of Votan. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, the Demiurg are a specific set of they're a league of the kin who are in Tau space, essentially, and allied with them. But they have done artwork of Votan who've got slightly more alien features, like in the form of face ridges or hirsutism, to sort of explain that. Because they're a clone Skyne race, they adapt themselves to whatever environment they're in. So it looks like the ones who were identified and joined the Tau as the Demiurg had more of those sort of adaptations than most of the Votan we see, but they are ultimately
because the early artwork of a Demiurg, they looked kind of like a Klingon, but shorter.
Yes, that's what they've. I'll see if I can find what they did with the Votan to show that. Yeah, these are the ones who've got like the Klingon-y head ridges.
Yeah, head and eyebrow ridges with the skull ridge and a bit more and a bit of hairiness because like Klingons. Gave them a quasi-reptilian look.
I saw art that made them look like they were rock people, but I don't know if that's just because I only saw it for a split second.
Yeah, but like I said, so it's like it wasn't that long after the Deep Rock Galactic came out with the advanced technology, dwarves in space thing going on, that suddenly we get the leagues of Votan.
Nothing motivates GW like the smell of money.
Ah, yes, this is true. We could make some cash on this.
Especially considering they still the first book is they announced them coming back and dropped the army, and
Yep.
then started on the books.
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised for the old world that there aren't more mutants, like Chaos Aligned mutants.
Yeah, I'm sitting over here, and I'm like the only book they've released for the old world is the Bretonian Night book. It's different, because it's not. It's about a group of female knights.
Yeah.
And it's not that I don't like it. I like it, but it's the fact that it's the only thing they've released, and I'm like, you guys didn't have like a couple of other novels ready to go.
Yeah.
I honestly think they kind of dropped it early. Like, I think they were wanting to launch it with newer factions, like probably Kislev and probably more chaos stuff.
That
Yeah, but
heard
the-
is
but when a new codex comes up,
Pardon me, fellows. Gonna grab some. Got some food delivered. Be right back.
No, I was going to say the thing that usually happens is like what Fee was talking about is when they drop a codex or army book, they also drop a couple of novels based on that have those characters in them.
I kind of think that they probably were not expecting Old World to do very well.
Their push was Age of Sigmar. Like to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
the new edition of Age of Sigmar.
Yeah.
Obviously.
And then Old World not only did well, it outsold Age of Sigmar, and they're like, wait, what?
Yeah, because the Age of Sigmar, it isn't that great from what little I've read.
I mean, I'm not gonna sit here on stream and say it's bad to everyone who likes Age of Sigmar. There are good things about it, but from a tabletop gaming standpoint, it is not going to scratch the itch of people who want to do fantasy warfare, because it's going to scratch the itch of people who want medieval space marines, not people who want formations of troops that are on level footing.
It is so weird to me that it's basically a skirmish game, but you're moving hundreds of people on the table. And it is such a pain if you have a horde army. I play guard Bretonians and skeleton horde, and moving 100 skeletons one at a time in Age of Sigmar is pain.
I'm sorry.
No.
I gave them all spears so they could do they have reach, and you just literally just swallow things. You just move hundreds of skeletons at them.
You got 2 ranks of skeletons.
I sometimes think for horde armies in miniatures games, I with big skeleton hordes and Tyranids and people who play Greenskins or Skaven, when they're in a skirmish format without the movement trays, I feel like you need one of those croupier push sticks you see them using casinos to shovel large numbers of chips around.
Well, like I said, I did have an army of beastmen at one point, and they move as skirmishers. But then when you get into close combat with an enemy regiment, you've got to put them in those rows. And that could take some time. It's it's so much easier to just keep them in movement trays as well. But it allows the beastmen to wrap around your regiment, so you got two sides of a block under attack.
I was surprised when I played Old World and started getting into it that with movement trays and such, and the movement rules on how you have to wheel and face and like how you are specifically required to move your unit. It's like there's on paper it sounds more complex, but in reality you're only moving like 6 or 7 things like a turn instead of like picking up and moving hundreds of models like you can for 40k or Age of Sigmar in a full-size game.
Yeah. With the Beastmen, I had to do all that. Like each guy had to move. I had to keep them in cohesion. Blah blah blah. And this is before Age of Sigmar. This is pre-Sigmar.
Huh.
Why,
Yeah, I remember running skirmishes in my Wood Elf army. It was complicated back then.
when I play 40k, I started like this last edition. I just like rewrote my usual list to be like almost all tanks for guard.
Wow.
And then I load up like a contingent of guard in my Crassus and just drive that in the middle of the board and drop them there, so I don't have to like shuffle multiple times people across the board and roll separate advance rolls and all that crap.
Uh-huh.
I just run in with a big ass transport and drop all of my dudes in the middle of the board and wipe my hands of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Some of the easier to move armies are the ones like the Arid Fists.
Yeah. Oh my god, the worst stomping I've ever received in a game ever of tabletop, like period, was when I played my 5th or 6th game of 10th edition in a league to learn, and I played an Iron Hands tank main, and dear god, I didn't kill a single thing, and I got board wiped. Like, it was the worst stomping I've ever received.
Worst time for an elf army that I saw was when I was running with the Beast Man that is the living embodiment of pure chaos.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I nickname him Moogie.
All right, that's Soren's assignment. I'm going to describe this over to you guys while we're here, while we're waiting on Moon. I'm also going to message Moon to hurry the fuck up. Because I don't want to keep Doodle up till midnight again.
Yeah. But, yeah. It was really weird. Like, some of them had...
Can't stay up late because I have to be at work at 6 a.m. So.
Ow.
Yeah, I don't want to keep you up. That's why we are trying to start a little earlier and get moving a little sooner. In the meantime, some of the rooms I didn't do anything with. Okay. So first off,
what are we looking
room
at?
14, Ronalin's wizard room with a collection of books, a smoking pipe, and set up with a nice Afghan rug, as well as maps of celestial bodies on the walls and ceiling, including Warhammer's Twin Moons.
Mm-hmm.
Outside on the upper story, convert his window into a porch with 2 old-style rocking chairs on it. Is this acceptable, or do you want to make changes?
Yes.
Okay.
I would like to add having a bird bath and bird seed things outside for any passing, like on the just kept on the porch somewhere, if possible, for little critters. If that would not be cluttersome.
Nope, that's doable. We'll put a bird bath on one porch handrail and a feeder on the other. All right, Oscar's room. Room 15 contain lots of workshop pieces with alchemy labs, gunpowder experimental, and weapon parts on tables, scattered notebooks, and study books.
Yeah, that all sounds pretty good. Trying to think if there's anything that would be extra to that, but I don't think he'd personalize a space like this over much, so I think that covers it pretty well.
Okay, that's his room. Rooms 18 through 20. Knock out the walls between these rooms entirely. Turn it into a greenhouse / living jungle, complete with the outside window on the right-hand side of the picture having a Brazilian walnut tree growing out of it with vines.
I was muted this entire time. Knowing how long trees take to grow, yes, that would be appropriate. Like when the tree has grown in.
Oh,
But trees are very slow growing things.
All right.
All right.
Room 9. Turn this room into a bedroom for a noble knight, complete with banners and regalias, as well as signs of trophies, great deeds, and a desk covered in fan letters and favors of ladies.
I like that.
Further, put a couple of swords and lances mounted on the walls.
Yeah. I had a brief, quick idea.
Okay.
Probably a shrine to the lady, like
Can do.
I'll write out a description unless you want me to just verbally say it.
No, I can get a shrine to the lady set
up. My idea was probably like around a life-size, like a 1-to-1 scale statue of a woman that was faceless with a wreath of leaves and flowers about her head.
Okay.
Wearing robes and her palms outstretched so that my main heirloom sword can rest in her palms that are like face up. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. And then probably need a stable in the garden. Or at least like a hitching post.
Yeah, we'll that too. Hold any position.
We can shovel my horse's
The
poop
stream tip
to the
grenade
planks that
has
Tess
been
keeps.
armed. 5 seconds until detonation.
Making sure you have a rather even Christmas.
Ooh.
I'm sorry, making sure I have a what? Alexter, thank you. Thank you very much for the tip. That is deeply appreciated. We're just getting started. And then for Lucia's room, rooms 3 and 4, knock out the walls here and freeze these rooms. I mean sheets of ice on the walls, complete with bear, wolf, goat, and minotaur skin rugs across the ground. Literally make it look like a as Slavic and Siberian as you can. Outside the house, on the window seal where this room is positioned, have icicles hanging off of the window seal and ice growing up the wall. And then I pretty much left the other rooms for their intended purpose as was described, except for rooms, let's see. The staircase and banisters, we're going to replace the gargoyles with Bretonian horses at the bottom. So the bottom of the banisters, instead of gargoyles, will be carved Bretonian horses. And at the top of the stairs, instead of gargoyles, will be Kislevian bears. The room number 13 is getting converted for magical protection so that Lucia and Rodolin can go practice their spells without putting anyone in danger. Room 17. Bottom area is going to get converted into a tabletop gaming room for wargaming, board games, and socializing. The top section is going to get converted into a bar, complete with a set of musical instruments being a cello, violin, flute, and a miniature piano. I figure Thess should be near the bar. I don't know why.
That sounds about right.
I mean, maybe Thess isn't as alcohol crazy, alcohol bartendy like as I am. But definitely the musical instruments
Upstairs, room 21 gets converted into a training area with training dummies, target range, and an obstacle course. And then the room, the attic is sealed off. With, because it's still technically a portal to the beyond.
Oh,
or
wait,
at
what?
least has.
Wait, what? It still is?
Oh, the portal's closed, quotation marks, around the word closed.
Those kinds of portals don't stay closed very well sometimes.
Those
Maybe I need to spend some time engineering the fuck out of that door then.
I'm gonna engineer the fuck out of this door.
I'll come up with a better description for Thessa's room at some point.
Just set up a pressure plate shotgun trap right in front of the portal. Blunderbuss with a string. Something walks through, it just blows up.
Well, we'll get the mages to get some kind of warning runes on there, and then anything that can't get past those will still have no couple inches of solid steel. That tends to work on most everything else.
In other news, South Korea attempted a coup yesterday.
Badly.
And
I think that's the fastest
it was
fail.
stopped in 3 hours. Unanimously, the president's martial law was voted down, and within 6 hours, he's been removed from his office and placed under house arrest.
Dictatorships. Just say no.
Haven't they watched Ordinary Things Guide on how to perform a coup?
No, but he took lessons from Trump without nearly as much charisma.
Badly.
Yeah, that's what I said. But
that's a low fucking bar.
It's a really low fucking bar, and he didn't clear it. That's the worst part.
So who are you talking about?
Oh my god.
The mess in South Korea.
Yeah, South Korea's president tried TLDR. He declared martial law because he got mad that people disagreed with him in the middle of the night and tried to perform a coup, and it got unanimously overturned.
It was barely even a counter coup. It was like the equivalent of like your grandma getting up confused in the middle of the night and just ushering her back to say, no, that's okay. No dictatorship for you. Hush now, back to bed.
That's about right.
No. We have enough dictatorship. Go away.
Hush now, you silly man. You're on the wrong side of the border for this.
So the name of the group is A-OwO. A-OwO.
Yep.
God damn it! I didn't
You've
notice
only
that
just noticed.
Adventures.
I'm sorry. I've been playing Thess. Portraying Thess accurately has been a little more important than paying too close attention to the stream.
Yeah, it's Adventures in the Old World of Old, aka A-OwO.
Fuck.
Oh my gosh.
If Thess understood that, she would appreciate it. I'm sure. Okay, well, I have new plants. Where's the new packet of seeds that I just received? Oh, Terry. Okay, there's my painkillers. Oh, there they are.
I'll be right back again one more time.
Reply in the Twitch chat saying good evening to a few people. And
I
it's
did.
Just popped
I
up
stopped at the Twitch chat. I'm like, good evening, fellow humans.
Yeah, and it's just like, this chat seems active. Consider clipping this moment for Fiora the Tank Girl. What, you mean this pre-game lobby? That clip that? Are you sure, Twitch?
Oh.
In other man-made horrors beyond my comprehension, Sony has been holding on to a patent since 2009 that would require users to say the brand name of something in order to progress a commercial.
That's not beyond your understanding.
Oh
You
my
can
god.
understand that.
No. Okay, they've been holding on to the patent but not using it.
Correct. For 15 years.
Right.
The patent
Didn't
expires in
Sony-
2029 if they don't use it.
You know what? They could be holding on to it to force people to not use it.
Which would be incredibly uncharacteristically kind for Sony.
Or
Yes
it's
and
or it's
no.
just the fact the technology doesn't work.
Or is so offensive to people. Sony's PR is Sony's reputation right now is in the shitter after some of the bullshit their PlayStation division has been pulling. So
For some ungodly reason, they decided to like update their numbers for PlayStation 2 sales. And as it turns out, the last time they reported was like 2012.
Yep.
And since then, they like doubled their numbers.
yeah, because the PlayStation 2 is a weirdly exceptional machine, right?
That keeps selling in like, especially in like
Right.
third world countries. Like they kept producing it until like 2021 or something like that, and just shipping it off to like third world countries, and it sold like hotcakes there.
Because it is still to this day an amazing console.
Yeah, it's
It's
the console
That's
I
a
have the best
beast of a
memories of.
machine.
yeah. I mean, I still have mine. I
Me
bought one of
too.
the first gens, and it's been modded. Like it now runs well, it's got a 1 terabyte hard drive in it with just about every PlayStation 2 game ever made on it.
Anyway, the moon is here. I don't know if he can talk.
Hi, Moon.
Moon.
We are in snow country.
I had no idea that they kept making PS2s until almost 2022.
Yes.
Yes.
Still get
Well,
they
so-
still make the
so-
accessories first party. Like you can
So-
still get a Sony branded controller and
So-
memory card.
This is fun. This is fun to understand. The way Japanese copyright works in relation to manufacture of anything more complicated than a pencil. It's called the pencil gear law when you translate it to English. If this is why Nintendo couldn't discontinue the Nintendo DS store until this year.
Really?
And it's wait, what?
It's called
The
the
pencil
Pencil
gear?
Gear Law. It's nicknamed the Pencil Gear Law in the same way that our copyright law is nicknamed the Mickey Mouse Law.
Oh no.
Basically, their copyright law says this. If you manufacture anything more complicated than a pencil for mass market, you may not discontinue making parts and services for it for 10 years and 1 week. Or you will face a fine equal to 105% of the total profit of the device.
Youch.
So they had to keep making PS2s because they made new versions of the PS2 until 2012. They had to keep making and providing services for. They have to keep making and providing services for the PlayStation 3 until almost 2030.
Oh god.
No, so they did keep producing and printing PS2s until 2022, because if the last one was in 2012.
Yeah. So they had to keep. That's when it
Blessed.
came. That's when the last iteration was made. So they have to keep making parts and keep producing that item. Even if they're only producing 1 or 2 a year, they still have to make them and make them available for purchase for 10 years. Because anytime you get a copyright in Japan, you have to offer services for anything more complicated than a pencil. You must offer services, parts, and repairs, as well as potential replacement for that item for a decade and a week.
Wow.
I remember
Yo,
being shocked when I like dug out my Fat Boy PS2 and I was like, oh man, my controller is kind of like the controller sat rolled up in my garage for a long while, and the wire is just done. And I was surprised that like Sony on Amazon still sells first-party controllers and memory cards. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like, they still have stock?
They're required to be able to continue manufacturing stock. It also guarantees Japanese jobs in the manufacturing sectors.
Yeah.
Honestly, America could learn a thing or two from that particular law.
Yeah, but if they tried to do that over here, it'd go over about as well as a goblin in a munitions depot without any adult supervision.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, America operates on the basis of we're going to manufacture something that will be obsolete so that we can put the newest model out and have it replace it.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at you, Apple.
It's like the physical equivalent to shovelware.
Yeah. That's why when that guy Tucker in the 50s made the Tucker torpedo car that couldn't die really, even if you rolled it, you just replace the glass and you'd still have a good car. Yeah, cars that last like that were something the American motor companies didn't want to deal with. They wanted to be able to we have the latest model. Why don't you come in and trade in your old model for the newest model? That kind of thing. It was like the torpedo was too good, and they didn't like that. So bye, Tucker.
I was gonna say, of the 150 or so Tuckers that were made, like 90 of them are still on the road today.
Yeah,
apparently.
Planned obsolescence, a terrible thing.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, Ugaforge had, or Ugaforgon had pinged something. I can't go back up far enough in the chat to see it though.
Who let Siberia? No. Who let my Siberian summer in here? Why is it so warm? Reaches over, turn thermostat down. Thermostat already reads below freezing. Anyway, good evening, everyone. So I have a present for everyone, and that is the fact that we actually have proper Cletus mode today. So now that you have proper Cletus mode.
So now I can talk, eh?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Please do a recap.
Gladly. So, last session, the party was in battle with those bandits. The bandits actually proved to be fairly decent shots with their arrows, which you never really expect bandits to be that bloody good. The result? They almost lost the ratcatcher representative. He had his arm so badly mauled that he was bleeding to death until the party could save him. During this battle, though, the knight had got himself into a skirmish with two of them. Rodlin had managed to make them drop their main weapons, so they went for their close combat blades. Thankfully, the knight has a shield. Then things were looking a little more desperate. There was the fact that a drink.
Yeah, 50 years of Pall Malls will do that to you.
Secondhand smoke.
The alcohol is tonic for older problems.
So anyway, the engineer, on the other hand, had gotten a bit wounded and was trying to reload his gun as best he could. He spotted something nasty. While Lucia was busy doing some sort of strange spell that looked like a lump of copper that could turn into a spear that she used on some of the bandits. Rodlin decided to switch over to a more probable thing, which was to make a windstorm inside the chamber they're in. And now we have him known as Rodlin of the Red Wind. Thess, on the other hand, was able to do some fighting and got to our friend from the Ratcatcher's division, just in time to save his life. She stopped the bleeding, and she was trying to do some healings and trying to get him back to normal. Meanwhile, the bear, which is attached to Lucia, got to do some more mauling and maiming and tearing apart of bandits. One tried to run away, and he chased him down a tunnel. And then, while the party was fighting the bandits, a swarm of rats showed up. Just when you thought you were about to be finished, then they came along, and that is actually why Rodlin decided the windstorm, which picked up the rats and turned them into red mist, along with a couple of the bandits, which one of them got caught inside a bunch of spinning rats that decided to have a free meal while they were spinning. And with that, the party finally calmed things down. They are going to have to work on scooping up some of the treasure that was spilled because the wind did destroy some of the little wooden chests that the gold coins and jewels were in. And they've got to do something about the collected surviving bandits. We'll probably drag them up. And those who are wounded in the party, along with the ratcatcher, will need to be attended to by more potent medicinal situations. So, the party didn't come out of this unscathed, but they are at present victorious. And with that, we'll let the story continue. It's on you now, Moon.
All right, just insert whatever your favorite sitcom startup anthem prelude theme song is. Just let that vibe in your head for a minute and set whatever tone you want to.
I mean, Three's Company.
Welcome back, Kata is in my head.
Red Dwarf in my case.
For me, I'd say it's gotta be Serenity.
Serenity, that's a good one.
All right, everything that needs to be unpinned is unpinned. Yep, you move. Oh, right. Yep, okay, I think that's everything. I've got enough tokens over here. All right. Where the fuck did I leave it off? Oh, right, I left it off on the NPC's turn. I knew I wouldn't remember everything going on. Okay. Well, the two bandits are still going to try and go for Andre. The one over here is, at past the point of any kind of giving up, but you can see this one has been throwing quips at you the entire time. Anyway. Yeah, no. All right. So they throw a swing and then ready to parry. The other one is going to do basically the same thing. And that's a no.
Okay, so to remind everyone real quick, we currently have no audience fate points. The GM currently has 2, and there are currently 2 boss points.
Oh yes, because our dear friendly fellow decided to pay for 2 bosses.
Oh,
No,
I haven't
2 different
forgotten.
people. 2 different people.
Oh yes, I haven't forgotten. Not by a long shot, and multiple enemies. Yeah, no. So I whipped up an encounter from scratch.
Good.
But like, yeah, no. At that point in time, it's just like that deserves its entire separate encounter. But yeah, and then this one's over here, just kind of reeling from the wind. They're gonna stand themselves back up.
I predict the party is going to encounter a pain train in their future.
And this would be the moment where you hear something to the extent of, "What on earth is that?" Or wait, no, it's not Earth. What on whatever this planet is that?
They'd probably say something like in all the realms.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, so you hear just over in the melee, you hear a bandit just mutter, "What in all of the realms?" before loudly screaming as they're dragged into the stones.
I'm sorry, they're dragged into the what?
So do you see how there's a bunch of, stones and rubble over here? They got dislodged a bit with Rottlin's windstorm.
Oh boy.
And one of the bandits who'd been pretty badly injured but survived the thing, so they're bleeding a bit. They turn around and poked their head into the small outcropping of stones where the roof had caved in a bit, and just simply, "What in all the realms?" as they're just pulled into the mass. They're screaming right up until there isn't.
Oh, that bodes poorly.
That is indeed. That is not
Andre.
good at all.
It seems like bandits aren't the only things we have to worry about. Though these blows are as weak as their moral fortitude. I shall dispatch them and send them to more.
Well, I did say they were good shots with their bows. We never said anything about hand-to-hand.
A bow is a weapon of a coward. I'm going to take a swing at the weaker of the... Oh. Ah, you got booted. I'm going to go for a swing at the wounded of the two to finish him off. And uh-oh. Hello?
Hello?
Oh, there was a big ol' hiccup there, and Moon got booted.
I think Moon may be having an issue right now. Go ahead and do your thing. We can all witness it.
34. Yep, that's a hit for me. And let's give him a whacking.
A whacking? Is that like giving him a Chris Walken, but he's getting a whacking?
Oh, no. Because a whacking is one of the lyrics to Butcher Pete. He's whacking, he's rocking, he's packing at me.
Sorry about that. It was time for my nightly computer randomly disconnecting from the internet.
Always happens. Zeech decided to pull a silly on you.
It legitimately happened once a day.
My fair dungeon master.
Yes.
I got a 34 to hit with the first blow against the weaker of the two bandits.
Okay.
And unless he parries, that's a 14 coming at his 43 left arm.
He does not parry. And you said that was 14 coming at his left arm?
Yes.
Okay. That is 4. That is -8. Okay. Nice. So you almost hack completely through the arm. The sword drops out of it was in their left arm. So the odd side dagger that they had drops out of their arm. They're staring at their right arm, just staring at the difference between one being an arm and one being a not arm. And he kind of drops into a state of shock.
I give him a chuckle and say, I suppose they don't teach you how to guard properly in bandit camp. And with my second attack, I'll do a flick at the midsection of the other fella, who I don't think has been hurt nearly as bad.
Just a scuff.
Let's see.
So are you shield bashing or?
Nope, I have 2 attacks. I'm doing swift attack.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was asking. Are you shield bashing or are you catching it with a blade?
Oh, my sword, for sure.
Okay.
Both are with the sword, preferably. And a 15 hits. So, parry, good sir. Possibly.
That's a fucking 9.
Wow!
I believe the bandit looked at you and went, 9, 9, 9!
So, yeah, he watches what you do to the other guy, and as you come around for another swing, nothing is thought about for defense, or nothing is thought about for offense. He two-hands that sword, puts it in front of him like a fucking broomstick, and just catches the blade. It's less of a parry and more, if I put this right here, he should have to hit this before he hits me. Cool, it worked!
At least you present a modicum of challenge.
Well, I mean, yeah, I better. I'm the closest thing these schleps have to a leader. Well, at the moment, the boss kind of left me in charge of these guys, which you did a handed job at killing my crack. What was that?
I think we might have...
What was what?
I'm pretty sure I just heard the sound of one of my boys screaming, dying, and a bone being crunched.
I take a glance at our wizards and see if that's possibly something they're doing.
Moon, I have an honest question.
Okay.
Can I see into this room over here?
Oh, you and Tess would have both watched that bandit just get dragged into the darkness.
What did he get dragged by?
Both of you need to make me perception, I think is the skill.
Yes.
Okay. Am I allowed to be scared?
You are allowed to be scared. Sorry, I'm running entirely too many games with too many different names for the I see shit skill, so.
That's fine. It's Tess, not Tess.
It's
I'm
actually
sorry.
good that you are very scared.
Right,
I only say that
point.
I only say that because I do play a Tess in a game, so.
Oh, okay.
And they're very, very. One is very bloodthirsty. The other is Thesserauth.
All right,
Please,
it's all you.
No, I should spend a fate point.
What did you? Well, hold on. What did you both get?
I got a 51. I spent a fate point to re-roll and got a 51.
Oh,
I'm
first off,
35.
that is enough.
Okay.
To at least see something, and you got a what?
Oh, I'm spending a fate point because an 89 is Tess is more perceptive than that by far. No. 80,
Oh, you
89
got
and
fucking
an 87.
robbed.
Okay, so I can explain why Tess is not paying attention to this. Tess is worried about keeping this guy's arm.
That actually makes a lot of sense. Hey, give me a roll for Mori if he has any scent-based abilities.
Oh. Okay. Mori has scent and keen senses. Um, that is the upper end of
That's
his
a giggity.
ability, but that is a success.
All right, there is an inherent +10 to see this because the creature isn't exactly being subtle. But
Yes.
Mori, so you got close. You failed by less than 10. So you heard something kind of scissor snatch around part of an arm or a piece of armor, but you weren't able to see what it was. Mori, unless oh, actually shit, from where he is, the deer engineer would be able to make a roll too. Unfortunately for Rodolin, there's a giant ass rock in the way.
All right, let's see what we get. 54, which is a success by a single point.
Excellent.
You are the smartest boy in this party, and I want to congratulate you on that status.
Well, I'm no damn good in a fight. It's my main attribute. Is
Okay.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
What's your int over there?
55.
55.
Oh, you are the smartest one in the party.
Yeah.
Damn, you are a smart lad. Okay, you are going to make you are eventually going to make collegiate wizards uncomfortable with how smart and non-magically talented you are. Those two things are not going to be able to square the circle, and it's going to be funny.
Yeah, I think there's more than one of us in this group that's going to do that.
You are going to. You will just cause spontaneous ear bleeds.
I already do. I thought it was a sign of infection.
Oscar walks up. Everyone looks at Oscar for a moment. Oscar goes, "What?" And they all go, "Son of an emerald."
Son of an emerald. How about?
I fight about as well as Thess blends in, so being smart's all I got going for me.
So stop keeping everyone in suspense. What did we say?
I'm sorry. I was just enjoying the Oscar appreciation moment. Well, Mori would be trying to communicate with you, Lucia, the best way that he knows, though he is a bear and is limited by the fact that he is a bear. And so by the time he's managed to grab something to communicate with you, Oscar would have been able to relay that it seemed as though maybe something about half the size of a horse reached through the stone and with teeth and a strong bite reached out, grabbed whatever this guard was, and dragged them into the darkness.
Everybody, we've got a problem. Whatever is through there is large. We are talking the size of Andre's horse, and it has bigger teeth than the thing we encountered in the manor. Oh, this is a problem.
And as you're describing it, hold on. And as you're describing it, Mori would have returned from over here, and oh shit, get back here, dog, or get back here, bear.
No, we dropped the bear.
And would have dropped at Lucia's feet one of the exceptionally chew-toyed up rats.
So, they're finally going to meet an A-OwO.
He looks down at the rat, looks at Maury. Is this so you get borscht tonight?
Maury just kind of looks to you and points to the thing, grabs the thing, and tosses it slightly into there while pointing like a pointer.
Oh. Skaven?
Maury tilts his head, not understanding the word.
Oh. Okay.
Because while smart, Maury's still a bear.
Oscar, do we have a grenade?
Did I hear the word Skaven from where I'm at?
I might be able to improvise something out of my gunpowder stash.
You would hear Jimbob from over on the ground just roll. Who the fuck said the S word?
Oh, they're here? Excellent. Time to kill.
I have no idea.
Oh,
That was
excellent! The opposite of excellent!
Yeah.
Thus my concern. Thus my concern. Well, or at least to any, if there are any bandits left alive to hear.
Just the one in front of me, I think. I think everyone
He
else is dead or dying.
Yeah, at hearing that, at seeing that, at everything, the bandit looks to you. He is going to take a reaction and just drop his sword, looking to you like, "I'm good. I'm good."
I'll actually hold him at sword point and say, no. You're going to fight.
Are you quite sure that's wise,
Fight or die.
Are you quite sure that's wise, my knight friend?
What the adventure turns into an episode of The Night Shift.
I say plainly to him, if you wish not to be consumed bit by whatever is in there, I recommend you pick up your sword and fight alongside us, so you may be graced with justice and a fair death.
He scrambles quickly and grabs a sword, like, yeah, man, whatever. Okay, cool. Yeah, truth, justice, and the Bretonian way.
I'll
Shit. That was funny. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he is a big Bretonian Boy Scout.
Riding in with a frickin' Pegasi Bretonia.
Right.
Unfortunately, I don't have the budget for a horse with wings.
You kind of hear the bandit blink from behind from on the other side of the table. Wait, those are real?
Oh, well, yes. And so are unicorns. Though alicorns are not.
Roll me a fellowship with a +20 right now.
I think
Fair
you
enough.
just made this man's horse dream come true.
If you have blather, you may roll that instead with the same +20.
I have good news for the
You
players.
literally have the high ground.
I do have charm and command.
Charm will also work. And what about the bear?
We got 4 degrees of success.
Good news for the players. We've had our fate points filled.
Oh, good.
The bandit looks to you.
Thank
you.
you.
Hear GG fan or GG chat. You hear a gasp from behind the mask, and unicorns are real. My mother didn't lie to me.
I suggest if you want to see one, you fight alongside us.
Yes, sir. Of course.
Very good. Now,
I hope I have a lackey now.
If he survives.
Yes, he must survive to be able to see a unicorn.
Yeah, well, he'll be a unicorn himself if he survives the encounter.
Not wrong.
Jimbob almost got murdered out the get-go.
But that would be the wrong horn.
Aw, boob.
The longhorn.
The wrong horn.
Whose turn is it?
At the moment, it is technically. I thought I deleted that. At the moment, it's technically out of combat. It would have been Jimbob, then Thess.
Well,
So is it?
Oh, you were saying something about the bear.
I was asking if it's too dark to see in here, or if we can see in here, or if we need to move the debris. Because technically, right now,
I'm sorry.
Technically, I do have some line of sight this direction, and some this direction. I just don't know if we need to remove the debris.
So for over here, right, that doesn't do it. I'm so used to roll 20. For over here, you can partially see through it. The magical winds knocked and displaced some of the things. And it looks like a really hard tug on some of these stones should break it free in such a way that you can traverse, albeit one at a time. The areas over here are a bit. I didn't really have any better tokens for them, but they are far more. They have a far higher amount of obscuring. The stones will have to be either detonated out of the way or dug out with a pick or something of the like. They'll take a little bit of time, but they can definitely be moved. The other one would take only a good hard tug, and it should be able to get them out of the way. At least for Mori, a person would be able to squeeze through there. Though it is dark in this room, you'll need some kind of a light. There are wall sconces with a handful of torches scattered around here, providing light. I just don't have them resed into the map. So the long and short of that is that you'll need a little bit of additional light, but you can see in the room that you're in at the moment.
Nice. Sorry about disappearing for a second. My lizard was banging against the glass.
But I did just see something reach the rubble and grab our would-be bandit, and we heard crunchy.
Yep.
That's unfortunate.
So, are we restricting back into turns, or are we going out of turn actions?
Should we
Well,
re-roll?
I was going to say you all can re-roll if you want to. I just want to ensure if Fess had anything she wanted to do that she gets a chance before we pop out of initiative.
Yeah, no, my next goal is to attempt to patch this guy up further. I basically am trying to avoid him losing his arm. He was pretty thoroughly munched on.
All right, I think it is not paramedic. It is surgery.
I have heal as a skill.
Oh, heal. Heal is what I'm looking for.
Yeah, it's a trained skill. I have it, so.
Well,
I was gonna say my dice decided to jump there for a second. That is a success on the heal roll.
Oh, the 42.
Yep. I have a pretty good heal. Well, I have pretty good for a starting PC heal skill.
Excellent. The arm can be saved, and you're able to make the first couple of steps that are necessary to ensure that that does.
Good.
However, you don't have the tools here to do the necessary surgery. The best you can do is set some of the break and essentially, not isolate, or isolate the arm in a sling.
Yeah, and that's probably all I'm able to do, really. And that's fine. That's better than nothing.
You are saving Walter Jimbob Cobblesmith.
Yep.
Yeah, you clamp a couple arteries, you ensure the man doesn't bleed out from his injuries, and he just kind of gives you a nod. And all right, I'm gonna stagger my way back to town. I'm in no shape to fight at the moment.
Please do. And we should collectively meet up after we deal with whatever that is.
Mm-hmm. Come and find me. I'll be at the mouth of the entrances here. I'll send out some reinforcements if you aren't back by the end of the day.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
Welcome, sir.
He grabs the spear. He grabs his ratcatcher spear and limps on it, using it as a cane to make his way out of the dungeon. You have saved Jimbob. This will factor into rewards.
Jimbob will remember that.
Jimbob will remember that.
Jimbob remembers. So does Pepperidge Farms.
Jimbob remembers.
And then my very next thing is to reload the blunderbuss and the pistol.
Oh, right, yeah. If anyone needs to, you can consider all of your ranged weapons reloaded. Crossbows, pistols,
fantastic.
blunderbusses in the case of the lizard.
You know, just casually reload that blundery bussy.
I mean, it takes 3 combat rounds to fucking load, so.
Oh my god.
Yes, yes, I did.
Okay, you know, I gotta admit, I don't know if it's me being new to this or something, but I have just being on stream switches the same neurons it switches the same brain mode as if like for what I feel I can and cannot say as if I'm around children. Just some degree of caution. It's completely pointless. This it's not what like Twitch wants. It's just what my brain decides I feel like doing.
Fair.
So hearing the blunderbussy out of the blue just gives me a shock to my world that I can hardly describe outside of poetry.
Make sure you stuff that blunderbussy post haste.
The blunderbussy needs restuffing.
I will fill that blunderbussy's hole appropriately.
Make sure you pack it tight. It's more effective that way.
Yeah, it has to be a good fit. You're absolutely correct.
Over an audio medium, there is no way to describe just the dead-eyed stare I'm giving the screen right now, chat.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Torib, for 64 months. Subathon resumes tomorrow with assembling Gunpla, but thanks.
I cannot describe the stupid giggle I have on my face.
Yeah, Moon, you knew what you signed up for when you when you guys agreed to have me in this. You knew me and Fee together at a table. You knew.
All right,
that's comedy gold.
The bandit would take a moment while everyone's reloading and go to one of the chests that they'd had a chance to scour through. There's a couple of healing draughts inside. He doesn't look to you, Andre, with like a my lord, but he drops them over, sets them on the table, and just liege, will if these will help in the effort, please. And I'll be right back. I am being summoned.
It's true, though. I have seen the both of them together at the dinner table back in 2018.
Yeah, and we have only gotten worse. we really have.
Oh my!
Milk has stopped trying to keep up with me as far as puns and how quickly things occur to my brain.
Damn it, Doodle.
What? Do what?
Just how quickly things appear in your brain.
Oh, really quickly. Usually. Uh like really fast. And a lot of them are just kind of off the cuff. Like I can't give examples because they're so in the moment. They just occur to me right at that second. And it's really hard to work retail when your mind works like that because you see something and you immediately have a snippy, witty, or otherwise just lewd, sassy kind of comment that comes to mind, and you have to not say anything because the moment you do, you're in a customer service environment and it's going to go sideways.
Hmm.
So that's been a challenge at my job.
I
Uh,
completely understand. It reminds me of of how I identified a buddy of mine at a drive-through because I walked up and before they gave the generic greeting that every like you always hear in the drive-through is like uh, I just turned to the thing and said greetings, and the man responded greetings, hungry one, and yes, as soon as he said that, I knew. Wait a minute, I know you.
I just want to be the manager standing in the room and hearing greetings, hungry one, and turning to my drive-through person like, what the frack is wrong with you?
I mean, I'm very tempted to answer the phone at work, especially when it's employees calling. With Bill's Roadkill Cafe, you kill 'em, we grill 'em. Chet speaking. How can I help you? Um, but I have to. I can't. Like, it's just such a bad idea. Um, God, okay. Yeah, it's just such a bad idea. Like, that's not a good thing to. But I have to stop myself. It's very hard because sometimes I speak before I think. Um, and it does get me into trouble, but it's also absolutely hilarious.
When the filter's not working.
The filter on me works like 25% of the time.
That's not
I
a very
still
good
firmly
filter.
believe that
No,
customer
it's
service
not.
people should be allowed one sassy remark a day without consequences.
Well, I banter with my customers. And the longer I'm at this place doing this particular job, um they I have customers who are like, "We like you. You're funny," because I banter with them, and it's not like customer service banter. It's genuine. Hey, you're doing this. This is interesting. Kind of banter. It's actual conversation. It's not. It's not sanitized. Well, it is sanitized, but it's not like I'm not making
Mildly
the
sanitized. It's free flowing.
yeah, I'm not making an effort to be all corporate, all business. And
I don't know what
they
you guys
they
heard.
what?
Har.
Bar.
Bar?
Do I just need to put bear noises into the soundboard?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello, phone. Why are you making noises at me? Better not be for work-related reasons.
Okay, also lol, Jimbob. All right. If I can move things around correctly. Yeah, one of the chests, or one of the small chests in the pile, or I'll just take this one since it's right fucking here.
I mean, I spent the first part of a couple of runs changing all the colors of like all the decorations on the table. For the game. Idle doodles are creative.
All right. But the bandit, or the recently surrendered bandit, I should say, places a small chest on the table, popping open the latch. There were 4 healing draughts on the inside. There are a couple of the other bandits who are still alive, just knocked unconscious from the combat. But the rest of them are all very dead.
The unconscious ones get policed properly, tied up.
All right, I will put the unconscious ones out. I will put the unconscious ones out in the hall.
They might have important information.
How many are unconscious and not just murderated?
There are 2 that are unconscious. There is 1 that is animal feed. There is 1 that has thrown whatever little bandit gang he was with under the bus and said, "Fuck it, I'm joining the winning team."
Right. So Andre has a squire now.
Yes.
Isn't that a requirement of you getting a class advance?
Yes.
No, but a big and hefty horse is apparently.
That's weird. That is weird.
Hold on.
Oh, 6 dead, 5 you can find the bodies of, 2 that are unconscious, 1 squire.
Oh,
Squire. He's already renamed.
No, I'm just laughing. And 1 still fighting bit. No, 1 squire. Fuck it.
I mean, he wants a flying horse. You
I
could
mean,
probably, yeah. Go ahead.
He is still just a talkie bandit at the moment.
Hey, the best NPCs start off this way.
I
remember in the
Here's
Bretonian
an idea.
omnibus.
You could always call him Podrick.
Dear God.
In the Bretonian omnibus, it through chance and fate, the main character knight, the guy who tried to assassinate him, ended up being his squire, basically his little manservant peasant, through happenstance and circumstance in the war camp.
Okay. So, to become a knight of the realm.
Yep.
Trappings, lance, heavy armor, aka full plate mail, a shield,
Oh yeah.
icon of Lady of the Lake, a destitute with saddle and harness of at least good quality, a household position with a Bretonian noble or a Bretonian fiefdom. This requires you to have squires. Plural. So you're working on it.
Also, fun fact, that type of horse is pronounced as Destria.
Yeah, didn't want to be correcty, but yeah.
Our boy just got a notification. Collect squires, 1 out of 4.
Yes.
Oh my god, it's a checklist. It's a freaking checklist quest.
We all have them, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all have checklists. He's got to have two, at least two, because then it's plural. More than one is definitely plural.
Yeah,
I
I
have
need
put
to
a
double
note-
check what I need to go down the artillerist tree actually.
I have put a note on. Oh, sorry. Because I have put a note on Andre's token. Squire's collected 1 of 4. All right. Also, you need to switch the.
I'm waiting for the trip to Lustria.
Switch the screen.
Huh?
Screen.
What screen? Visible confusion.
If thou goest to the Twitch chat, thy pre-game screen is still being displayed.
My pregame screen is not being displayed, Moon. You're on pause.
Yep.
I was about to say it's live for me, so I think we're okay.
Or your computer can't handle the Twitch chat, the Twitch and the game at the same time. I'm not sure which. But I'm looking at my phone to make sure what's
It was
going
just paused.
on.
Look, I noticed. I thought that there was an issue. I was simply saying, "Hey, majigger."
I appreciate you.
Magoober.
Okay, are we agreeing to keep initiative or reroll initiative? What do we want to do, guys?
I'm happy to keep personally. We've all got the numbers
Happy to
inputted.
keep.
Yeah, keep. It's fine.
That's
I'm good with keeping. I rolled
Okay.
pretty well, so.
okay. Well, in that case,
That's completely up to you all.
Before the initiative sets back in, Rodlin seeing and hearing all the things from over here, he is going to hop his way, hop rather spry for an old man, hop over the table and take cover right here by where our dear friend Thess was preparing the lad. Well, whatever it is, my dear friends, brace yourselves. It seems it might be coming soon.
I was also going to say during this brief moment of relapse, I would definitely like to go for one of those healing drafts that was offered by the new squire.
Yeah, I'm also gonna take a knee and pray. I'm just deciding on which buff to go for.
You go ahead and pray. You go ahead and grab a potion.
Up to the bandit. Newly acquainted rogue. Please distribute those potions to the remainder of us as while our dear knight our dear knight. I think you know what to do.
He pops to attention. Yes, Lord Wizard, and begins quickly scurrying around, holding the chest, the short sword sheathed on his side, holding the chest and walking around like a butler at a party. Just hors d'oeuvre, except in this case, healing drought.
I'll yoink one for the back pocket.
Okay.
For praying.
I have the feeling we're going to need this. I have the feeling I will need this later.
It's like in Vermintide or Left 4 Dead when all of a sudden you just find a gear upgrade and you're like, huh, that's suspicious. Why? Why? Question. What do you think's more important, lads? Higher armor or impact on my sword? I'm leaning towards impact.
I would agree with that. I think whatever it is, we need to put it down as fast as possible.
Impact lets you roll damage twice and take the higher, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I'll probably do that.
What's your current armor value at the moment?
3 across my head, arms, and body.
Oh yeah, the lady's going to sharpen your blade.
Fair. Because I figured the tanking one, like it gives you +1 armor in all locations. I think that's probably better for mob control than a boss, because 1 point won't make a difference on a big hit. So I'll do the Prayer of Might of Purity. Wonderful monster, yeah.
Okie dokie. Alright, so you're doing that. Rodalin's grabbing Healing Drought. Oscar's grabbing Healing Drought. Is Lisha or
Lucia's grabbing one, but he's also primarily focused on making sure Maury's better.
Healing potions work on bears.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure you can give a drought to the. Alright, so if all 4 are being taken, this is just an empty chest.
Okay, yes. We'll wait till if everyone else has grabbed one first before he decides. Or before he grabs one.
That is not the word I meant.
What?
I was putting the item on my sheet and I typed healing daughter.
Yeah.
Damn it, I did not want to think about that stupid fucking country song now.
I didn't realize that was a country song.
Don't want to think about that too much.
It was a very old meme from high school. It would take too long to explain.
Oh, okay.
So just going by what's in the book here, the healing draft, consumed to automatically heal 4 wounds. Yep.
Yep.
Cool, that'll take me back up to 8, slightly less dead. Oh, by Verena, that tastes vile.
Would there be time to do a once over healing roll on each injured person that we have?
Yeah.
Okay. That'll get you potentially back more wounds. How many injured? Who's injured, actually?
I have 1 wound of self-inflicted.
Okay, I wrap a bandage around it.
I'm
Next.
currently feeling about 8 of 12-ish, if I had to put a number on it.
Okay. You
14.
probably actually need a healing roll. That is a regular success with my healing kit. Yes, my healing kit gives me plus. Which means you get. Do I want to use the polis? If I don't use the polis, you get 1. I'll use the healing polis. I've got a bunch of them. So. Have yourself 7 wounds back.
That takes me back to full. Thank you very much, Thess.
Yes, of course. Who else is injured? Anyone? No?
Not here.
Okay.
Quite fortunate to be unscathed.
Good. I've used 2 of the 5 healing bullets that I carry. Okay. 1 wound injury, and let me make just a roll and see That is a 26. So yeah, that what little one wound of yours, Lucia, is patched and healed.
Okay.
Don't get injured again. Oh no, I can make another roll once you're injured again, I should say. This is why we have a healer. I'm the healer from
Yes.
Lystria.
Moon question.
Yeah.
I have the fluff written for my prayer. Should I read that out loud or not?
I would love that, please.
Do it now.
Yay. Okay. Ah, my lizard is attacking my mic. Calm down.
That is so cute.
Brother, you must not attack the microphone.
Lady of the Lake, guide my hand in honorable combat. Give the inner purity of fire to smite those that would oppose all that is good and righteous across the realms. Bless my blade with the purity of your grace. Temper it with your faultless judgment. And I'm probably taking a knee and just holding my sword in my hands.
All right. As you finish intoning your prayer, holding the blade close, everyone around you, including the bandit, would see a faint light glow and emanate from deep within the core of the iron. The hilt and handle of the blade would be warm to the touch, but not painfully so, as it gives off just a faint radiant light.
The lady has seen fit to bless me this day.
Well, it really worked.
Verily.
Well, the bandit's having a religious experience.
Hopefully not too much of one. After all, he is a lowborn, and they are precluded from the worship of the Lady of the Lake.
Oh, if you told them, it's like, yeah, no, I totally wasn't worshiping. I was just simply, that was amazing.
I love the obscene classism of like the Lady of the Lake religion in war in fantasy. Your like peasants aren't allowed to worship the Lady of the Lake, but they are allowed to worship the knights that serve the Lady of the Lake.
Wow, that is a very elitist religion.
I love it. It benefits me.
It's pretty funny.
Should know their place. My place happens to be sorry about that. Something went down the wrong throat right as I was trying to speak.
The wrong throat. How many do you have?
Oh, you don't need to know that.
Asking the real questions. How else is he going to cast?
I mean, that all those songs that the knights sing, how they sound like a chorus. It's really just one knight who's really talented with multiple throats.
That
We sent it to Mongolia so we could learn more ways to sing more at once.
I mean, at that point, that's a Zinchian mutation right there.
I was about to say, that sounds like a tall tale of Zinchian fuckery.
Is that what the kids call a throat goat?
Yeah.
At least it's
All
not
right.
a
So this
deep
silliness.
throat.
So this silliness notwithstanding, so are you? is someone going to prepare to venture into that? Are you going to try and move stones? What is the plan moving forward?
Probably
So,
move the rocks. But go ahead, Oscar.
to say Oscar's probably not going to be the one to move the rocks. He's not the strongest. But what he is going to do is the area where we've got a bit of debris, probably close to where Rodlin is standing right now. He's going to set up behind there, and he is going to get his firearm trained on the opening. So he's just whatever happens, he's in a position to provide cover fire for whatever comes through that if it has it's cleared.
Remember, you must also hold the gun steady instead of shakily.
Yes, thank you, enigmatic old man.
I recommend that we form a encircling barricade so that our more fairer amongst us can make a defense against anything that, well, could crunch a man to pieces.
I am entirely in favor of this plan. I have already seen more internal human organs in the last 20 minutes than I've seen in my entire life up to this point. So, yes, this is a good plan.
Rodlin, Andre, you act like I am fragile.
Oh, well, not fragile, but I dare say that your bear is perhaps better equipped for such matters. And my new squire, which I'll heartily pat on the shoulder. And he is that triangle pat like a patch on him? Like,
Ooh, hang on, let me zoom in on the bandit.
I remember.
Oh yeah, they had some kind, or their it wasn't monogrammed like that on the shoulders. They had some kind of a like a gang affiliate patch there.
Yeah, we're gonna rip it off like a band-aid.
All right. Interesting how the knight's particular social habits are, especially around some of the party members.
There's a moment of genuine confusion from the bandit, and upon realizing what you tore off, the bandit takes a moment, and I can't do it on the token, unfortunately, but they fully remove their face mask and look at the patch. And with that, my old life is gone, and I devote myself fully to your cause, my lord. If you would have me.
Sorry, oh shit. I laughed too hard and it scared my lizard.
I've made my cat's popcorn before doing that, I understand.
I'm gonna do probably the least favorite GM thing and ask for his name.
Oh,
Good
that's
sir,
fine.
what is your name?
He looks to you. No, not that brain. Jesus Christ. He looks to you. Oh, they call me Sage, sir.
Well, Sage, perhaps in good time you shall find yourself absolved of the stench of your former life. But for now, you have been press-ganged into the service of the righteous cause. And I give him a nice hearty pat on the shoulder, reassure him.
He oofs slightly as you are much stronger than him. I was like, oh, yes, thank you. I look forward to absolving myself of these sins. I've seen a better way. He's still just staring at the sword like, that sword did magic. I watched magic. I watched magic that didn't come from winds of what the fuck did I just see?
Oscar gives him a sympathetic glance.
I let him have his enamorment for now, and I'll let him kind of do the. I'll just let him do the bitch work of moving the tables for a barricade.
He would be honored. All right.
All right. I'll put him to work making a barricade for the casters.
All right. He's gonna drag the tables over here. I'll fiddle with that as it goes, but
You seem to have a way. You seem to have a way with inspiration, Andre.
Well, I do suppose it runs in my blood. What with my father being a duke and all. And well, my brother's no slouch either.
Your brother?
Yes. I don't think I've mentioned him before, but he is off on his own noble crusade.
I understand. I can hardly blame you for not. I can hardly blame you for not mentioning your family as much. You should hear the stories I have to tell about mine. Although having said that,
so as we find out today, dear followers, Andre's father is a duck of Britonia.
Duck.
That is, yeah. Duck, the original pronunciation of
Duck. Yep, duck. He's an absolute duck.
Quack, quack.
You know what? Now I'm tempted to paint like a fancy looking Duke miniature and just put like a duck on top of his head, like for his little on his shield too. He just has a duck, a gold duck.
Duke Duck the Anointed.
Duke Duck. Sorry. I was gonna make a Darkwing Duck joke, but let's.
Well, it's time to get dangerous.
Is he the wind that improperly billows your cloak?
When there's trouble, just call VW.
He's just got a fan. He's fanning.
Is that the nail that punctures holes in his tires?
Are you are you the bubble gum that sticks to the bottom of his shoe?
Yes.
Is he the fly in your soup?
Fee got it. I am the peanut butter that sticks to the roof of your mouth. I am Darkwing Duck. God, that was such a stupid show. I loved it.
The reboot was awesome.
You know, I've heard a lot of good things about it, but I haven't been able to sit down and just watch it. So I should do that at some point soon.
All right, so as people load weapons, things get into preparation. The dude just starts dragging around tables, moving and rolling some of the larger rocks. I would assume Mori moves some of the things too, but
Mori is
he-
used to put things on top of and then walk them across and dump them.
Yep. So between the two meatheads, they're able to assemble a quick little barricade. It takes about maybe 7 minutes between the two of them. The entire time, the sounds of ripping and crunching can be heard emanating from inside of this cavern. Sporadically, they stop, seemingly fixated on whatever is happening outside of the little hole. But they yeah, ultimately return back to the rip, the crunch, etc.
I don't think that meal will satiate whatever that is for long.
Long enough for us to be prepared, I hope.
All right, and he is not strong enough to move any of the larger boulders. It was sheer serendipity of where Rodolin cast the spell that started moving shit around.
Mm-hmm.
So it would either have to be, unfortunately, Mori or some kind of a team effort involving like pry bars.
Well, do we have a pry bar?
I have one in my engineering kit.
You know, not to be overly grimdark, we could technically use the body parts lying around for pry bars. But
You could use them for bait.
But if Oscar has one in his engineering kit, that'd be a better idea.
Use Thess's bone saw to help cleave some of the meat off, so we can use the bones like a crowbar.
No. Just burn it off. Create a fire. It's faster.
Fair enough.
Okay. Do any of you have so with a pry bar, do any of you have a it's just called strength. Yeah. Do any of you have a strength statistic of at least 40?
Yes.
Okay. You do not have to make a check. You can just pop the pry bar in, and it's a full action to do it, but you're able to dislodge it at a key spot, and it moves several of the rocks. They were very precariously held on, just kind of friction locked.
Well, isn't that convenient?
Worrisome would be a better term.
I'm inclined to agree.
All right. So as you pop basically a spot on this one, I absolutely love it when rocks just don't obey physics.
Give me a moment, my friends. Can I grab a drink?
Good enough. Oh, shit. shit, did I get DC'd again?
No, you're still here. I know you are disconnected from
God
the
damn
game
it.
again.
Yeah. Fucking hell. I am going to have to buy a new I have a router that I'm using, but I can't change the password, so I can't get it to accept it.
Hello?
Hello.
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 Ahoy.
Bonjour.
Ça va?
Actually going to be positioned not behind. But I'm also not right in the front line.
Shit. I need permissions again since I got kicked. And I just fucking move the goddamn fog of war. Woo, okay. So that all should be revealed now.
Uh-oh.
Well, I say all, but
I like that we just see body pieces in the distance.
that was the remains of the bandit. You can see bits of the armor still on places.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go, armor.
What are you doing?
But the as everything moves, the rats look and they snarl out a moment as they kind of crunch and protectively grab their meals.
Hmm.
And with that, it would make its way back to the start of initiative. As they were not expecting their little rocky protection to just get demolished.
I think that brings us back to the engineer first.
I believe so, yes. Well, that's distressing. Rather a lot of body parts, but we persevere. I will move up to a place where I'm pretty much staring straight down the new corridor we've opened up. I am going to line up the Dragon Belcher on the barricade, and I'm going to hold to fire as soon as I have a viable target on something that is definitely not human or humanoid, I should say.
Sounds good. All right, Lucia.
Well. Wait, am I really? Huh. Okay. Lucia is going to order Mori to follow, and are going to actually order Mori ahead and stay back here with Oscar for right now. So half an action to order him to take a sniff and then wait and see what he smells.
Okay. Does he sniff on your turn, or
His
is it an
turn.
immediate sniff? Okay.
He's on
So
42.
he begin. All right. So he puts his head down. He starts sniffing the air. The bandit, with that having broken, is going to grab a crossbow, hop behind the barricade, and largely do the same thing. Just wait to fire. Actually, wait. No, he's trying to be brave. So he's still going to grab a crossbow, but he's going to level a crossbow at the first viable target he has that isn't Fess.
Yeah,
Morty,
please don't shoot me.
Morty, go take a whiff. Show me what you smell.
What does the bear smell?
All right, Andre Rodelin, what are you two doing in the still before the combat?
I will honestly probably just be front and center and ready with Mori and Fess.
Oh yeah.
I will give my new squire a reassuring nod as he climbs behind the barricade with a crossbow.
Indeed. As for Rodlin, will we'll be looking to the group and keeping a quick check on everyone, making sure there's no problems, and then turning to himself, going to utter a quiet whisper as his eyes glow blue briefly, and a wind swirls about him. And I'm going to attempt to cast a spell.
Hell yeah.
Well, action. This will be all I can do this turn. And it is... Ta-da!
I guess I should ask if we're going in there or they're coming to us.
Gee. That's almost funny.
What is funny?
It doubles 20.
What?
Yeah. Let me. Attempting to pierce the veil into the future, I rolled some a fat bit of doubles.
That's hilarious. Oh shit!
Double 10.
Double 10. I don't know if that's special.
Well, and you're also using magic.
Well, I know that the doubles for magic. I was wondering if doubles for 10 specifically is any extra special.
I'm unsure if that is a crit pat, or if that would be a crit pass or a crit fail, since it's a D10.
Oh no! Well, basically, I have to make a no. These are. It's not a D100. My casting number was 12. I got a 20, so I would have succeeded on the spell.
Oh, this is for power. Okay.
Yes, this is for magic shield.
All right. So roll perils first.
All right.
Where are you going?
Let's see. That's a D100. Yes.
Yes.
Four.
Oh, you just rolled. Oh, 4? Okay. That is witchery. Milk curdles, wine goes sour, and food spoils. Oh man, that's actually really funny. So, what spell were you casting?
I was casting the second portent of a mole, a spell that lets me look into the future and gives me rerolls that two rerolls that I can use anytime within the next hour.
Okay, I will get with you on that for a moment because there would be glimmers and flashes of the inside of this place. However, as you cast that as the the sickening energies are made manifest from the warp. I just need to see.
Oh.
So, as you gain manifest, as you cast this spell, you see in your mind's eye the rats, these large, massive, wolf-sized rats, just spitting, sputtering, gagging, putrescently for a moment, and unsure exactly why a spell that foresees the future would cause this. You would then see or feel some of your rations begin to wither away into nothingness, and you realize that by glimpsing into the future, you caused the very meat that they were eating to putrefy in their mouths.
Oh my gosh. By piercing the veil to view the future, I accidentally brought the future close on in their food.
Yup, I'm like, are they within 10 meters? They were within. Okay, so I'm going to make a toughness roll for them on their turn, but you momentarily disorient and aggro the rats as you ruin their manwich.
Good choice of words.
And
Manwich and done by Witchman.
and Maury would begin to bat at the rat that he's been carrying around as basically his talking stick. Like, what is it? Drops it, points to the rat. And the bear would turn back to Lucia, grabbing the rat and shaking it before dropping it, and but I don't think you gave him the command to advance, just to be up front.
Correct. I told him to sniff around and point at something if he thinks we should invest. Basically, I told him to seek, which is walk around and when you smell something bad, sit.
He sits down in front of the thing and makes snarling bear noises at the mouth of this room entrance. Thess, it would be your turn as Jimbob has returned back to town.
Awesome. Like I said, I've moved myself kind of forward. Looks like everybody's kind of grouping up around this entrance, but we're gonna have to go in eventually.
You can get a bit of cover, right, and
Yeah.
have a line of sight into the room as things come out.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good place to go. I'll just fall over right here. Don't mind me.
I can get it into the spot over there. Give me a second.
I'm gonna spend all my time trying to drop my figure into a spot. Um. There we go. That's close enough.
Excellent.
And I'm going to do very similar to everyone else. I'm going to. Problem with the blunderbuss is that it's a cone weapon. Actually, no, I don't want to be there. Thinking
Okay,
about it.
hang on.
I know exactly where I need to be. I need to be more
Okay.
centrally located, more against like one of these rocks. I'm going to be kneeling and using the rock to brace, and I'm going to have the blunderbuss. I'm going to have the blunder. Okay. I'm going to have the blunderbuss pointed straight down this nice narrow corridor where there's a very small area to dodge because it is a cone weapon.
Good enough.
Actually, yeah, good enough. Actually, I'll use Mori to brace the weapon against. No, that's probably a bad idea.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, if you're right up there, that rock actually would make a solid brace point.
Yeah, and the fact that it's a 3 wide cone firing into a space that's only 2 wide. Good luck dodging.
All right, and with all of you having readied up your actions, the environment, aka the rats, are going to take their turn. As I need to make 3 toughness rolls real quick, as they're currently slightly poisoned.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Okay, so wait, is that? Oh, that's fucking funny. By 1. Okay, so 2 of them both have a penalty. Yeah, a fucking 41 needed a 40 fails. So only one of them managed to be unaffected by the putrefaction of the man meat. The rest of them have to take a half action, sputtering and clearing the stuff out of their mouths. As this one is going to rush forward, and as this one's going to rush forward, try and charge someone. And make a lot of bad decisions.
They come.
Are we supposed to be able to see what he's moving?
Oh, it's within the big just above the black void of non-visibility.
Well, that's
oh, hang on. I have to delete the rest of these.
Out of character, I'm personally betting on a rat ogre. Yep. Oh, those are big. Oh, those are big.
I think wolf rats more than rat ogres, but that's still not good for us.
Yeah, no, they are rats the size of wolves.
Told you to be afraid.
Oscar was afraid several days ago.
Oscar's been afraid since session 0. I mean, to be fair, what we saw.
I haven't been afraid, but I do wonder if we're going to be paid by the pound for such a beast.
But you'll only be paid for by the heads.
Well, yes. But these are easily 10 times the size of those last creatures.
Well, I'm pretty sure on something like this, they're going to pay you at least like 5 times the going rate, if not something like 20 to 30. He's just doing weird things over there. Anyway, yeah, so they're all trying to pile through. The 2 in the back can only take a half action this round. The 1 up front's going to barrel through. Everyone go ahead and resolve your attacks that you have readied.
All right.
Fire.
Well, it does help to stay alive to collect the money for these things.
That'd be a 13.
I'll prepare my whack.
So yeah, that's
A
ability
13 is
hit,
going to
2 degrees
resoundingly
explode
hit.
Ah. 94. We'll spend a fate point. Attempt to reroll that atrocity.
So for blunderbusses, there is no to hit roll. There is only a dodge roll.
77 still. Oof. All right. We miss.
You know, I'll say that Andre had to take a moment and pull his swing as there was just suddenly a hail of metal shrapnel where his sword arm would have been.
Yep.
There's a dodge roll. Okay.
Yeah, there's no
Finding
to
friendly
the-
fire.
blunderbuss is
the-
using shrapnel. They fire a cone. It's a get out of the way of the cone.
Yeah, the one up front can potentially make the dodge. The other two don't even get to make that chance. They're squeezing into a spot.
Okay.
Yeah, that's an 80.
Okay. And it's
So-
going to do. That's a 9 plus 3, so 12 damage.
Oh dear God!
Wow.
All right, let's roll for my damage then as well.
Yep. This is why blunderbusses are nice.
That is a 5 is the highest on the impact plus the 4, so that's a 9 damage from Oscar on one of them as well. Presumably the one.
Yep. All right. What did you roll to hit?
13, so if we put that on the chart, that is...
Oh, that's head. Oh no, right. They flip it. That's 31.
No, you have to
so that
flip it
would
the other
be...
way around, so 31, so right
Yeah, I got
arm.
excited. That's the arm.
You got far too excited about him shooting him in the head.
Yeah, and what's your point?
We have yet to have a good headshot.
This system really seems to like left arms.
It really does.
Yep.
All right, so you had just hit them all for 13, or no, for 12 off the blunderbuss.
Right.
And then that's another 9.
Off of 1.
9
Okay,
points
that-
at the point, Rat.
Yeah, that lead one is dead. The hail of shrapnel slows it down a little bit as Oscar's shot to the arm just catches it in the ball and socket joint, and the thing just spontaneously detonates. The force of the movement and everything. The limb goes one way, the rat goes the other way.
By the lady, that smells ghastly.
One down. Let's keep going.
You should see what they were eating.
Okay. And now it's the next
I'm
round.
I'm moving that off the battlefield just so that I can actually get them moved around.
Sure thing. All right. I fired the blunderbuss on my round. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, the bandit missed his shot, unfortunately. Actually, wait, I didn't even.
It's okay. I have a pistol.
Oh wait, yes I did. He had a 61.
I could shoot the next one with a pistol shot.
All right, Oscar, top of the round, it's your turn.
Okay, that went well. Though truth to tell, charging in there would be suicidally stupid. So I think all I can do is dedicate both my actions this round to a full reload of the Dragon Belcher, and that'll be me. So Oscar is just, as soon as he sees the first one goes down, he crouches down behind the barricade and is feverishly reloading the muzzle loader. And is just going, "We're doing well! Good luck out there!"
All right, I believe that is on. No, Lucia.
All right. Well, that is a not so great amount of problems. And if I remember correctly, Radolin's already triggered a manifestation this session?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so if I fuck up a spellcast, it's only going to get worse.
Also, it's a good thing that you waited until this session to do that, because you had triggered a manifestation last session, too.
Yeah, no. So,
How are the fate points may save us yet?
You know what? Lucia pulls out her boot knife.
Fuck yeah.
And is going to yeet a boot knife. I take a half action to aim.
Bayusi would be proud.
Oh yeah, no. May the spirit of Bayusi flow through you.
I am going to spend one of our audience fate points.
Oh no!
What? You don't want to stab one of us in the back?
I'm reasonably sure I don't want the knife to go into the back of Andre's head.
Yes.
Friendly fire.
Not so friendly.
Oh shit!
Let the spirit of Bayusi
That's
flow
a
through you.
1! That's an actual 1!
Hey, we've had
Let's
a 0-1.
go.
We've had at least 1-0-1 in every
Boom.
run
Head
so far,
start.
by the way.
Automatic
Like-
Fury, let's go.
One person has rolled a 0-1 in every run so far. At least
Stop
one
rolling
Fuck,
crap.
roll it again.
Okay, that works.
Ooh!
And the second one... Oh!
I mean, that's the only time you want to see doubles.
That is 19 wounds, boot knife to the head.
Yeah, so they come charging in, and with the force of a frenzied berserker, you launch that boot knife at the, I guess you could call it the next lead rat. And the result, well, give me but a moment.
The rat has been yoked.
The force
Or rather
of the
smoked.
the force of the knife and the angle of incidence causes the creature to lift into the air and essentially spiral in place as it had been going forward with enough velocity. But it's dead on impact, the boot knife buried up to the hilt in its skull.
God damn, that was a good throw.
Perhaps there is honor in ranged combat after all.
I guess the bandit's going to take a half action to aim and fire their... It's a bow and arrow, not a crossbow, I misspoke, but...
Oh, you're good.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I did not want to have that kill. So
I mean,
the
Probably just hit the dead body.
yeah, no, the bandit fires an arrow in, it flunks into the back of the rat for good measure. the bandit or the former bandit looks over to Lucia and in a very quiet tone just mutters, "Is it possible to learn that power?" Andre, it is your turn.
Not from the untrained.
Not from Sigmar.
Oh, that was good. Oh, the path to knife throwing. Sorry, go ahead.
Have you ever heard the tragedy of Darth Lucia the Cold?
Oh, I was gonna say, the path of the Ice Witch leads to powers that many Sigmarites would term unnatural.
This is too much fun.
All right. Well, I do suppose unto the breach I go, and I'll swift attack. I'll go for two swipes with the sword. Drop it right here, and flick. Swing number 1, miss. Swing number 2. Do we have audience fate points?
We have 2.
I'll use 1.
Okay, that brings us down to 1. Audience, you can interfere. All you have to do is drop a tip.
I hit with a 10. Oh, if I flip that backwards, that's the head.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So, you both get back-to-back headshots.
I'm not one to be one-upped.
I was gonna say it's going to try to dodge. Actually, no, it can't dodge blow. It's right. That's why those other two couldn't dodge blow. They were not in the spot where they could dodge.
He gets thwacked for 10 on top of the skull.
You have
remember you have impact.
I did. I rolled a 5 and a 3.
Oh, big sad.
I mean, he already took 12 points.
Moon.
What?
They have no idea of the power of the ice side.
Oh no, I just wanted to make sure that you had gotten the most out of the impact. Yeah, so you swing that blade down. The rat's already injured from the hot spray of shrapnel. Blunderbussy. You swing down with the sword graced by the lady, and there is almost no resistance from the rat's skull as the blade cleaves it in two long ways. It tackles into you a little bit, but that's more from forward momentum, than anything else, as it just lays on the ground and its death twitches.
I'll make sure skewer it in top of the skull.
Okay.
Do you see any more rats left, or is that?
I was gonna say, as you go in for another slash or another follow-up stab, you pretty much remove the head.
So
back to the depths with them.
So should we inscribe on the side of Thess's blunderbuss, "Eat my blunderbussy"?
Beautiful.
What curse thing have we made tonight?
I mean, that implies that that's a thing in universe, and that would imply Thess knows what that means, and that doesn't feel right.
It's not even Thess would have no clue, and it's even if Thess knew, it's kind of out of character for her. So, but the thought occurred to me.
Knows. You know who probably knows? Oscar probably knows.
Priest. Oh no,
You know
Oscar's
why?
too innocent. Oscar's too innocent, please.
I only say because the ones who are most familiar with firearms in this world seem to be the dwarves. Thus, if it's a joke, it's one the dwarves who his scholarship has interacted with have probably likely pass around. He may have heard it and simply not know what it means.
Trust me, Professor McKyson definitely has a dirty mouth.
But yes, with that, the air is still for a moment. Andre, you feel the presence in the sword. It doesn't abate. It merely I can't think of a period accurate term for it, so it goes to sleep mode.
Hmm.
Okay. Dormant?
Dormant, thank you, yes. The power has not abated from it, but it goes into a temporary dormant state.
Hmm. I say,
As if the
I don't think that was all of them.
No. Rodlin stands up.
Of course, why would it be?
I will
Those were the
immediately.
those were all that are nearby.
I will immediately start reloading the blunderbuss.
There are more potentially at hand, he says, leaping over.
Are we going in initiative order still, boss?
Oh, that's a good question. I should have asked that.
yes. Just for the moment, yes.
All right.
So yeah, it would be Rodlin actually after me. So
Rodlin is going to hop his happy wizard butt over, propping himself over by the staff and moving up on. As you're walking, you actually see something kind of. You see him kind of be shaking his head a little bit, pressing his fingers to his forehead. Before his eyes widen.
something the matter, mage?
We may have need of a priest of more. The winds
Lucia,
whisper secrets.
Lucia turns to him. Necromancy?
I strongly suspect it. I hear the winds. In my preparations, I pierced the veil, and slipped my mind into the future, and in so doing, saw more of this place. The sounds of battle lurked somewhere much deeper inside. I see large, lurching rats and twisting broken stairs. And I see skeletons that rise from their rest.
I'm wiping my blade clean with the rag that I keep handy for such a thing, and I say, "You needn't divination to understand there will be combat ahead. It's not a wonder."
Perhaps. But the presence of undead.
Hmm. They fall like the rest. Just disable the body.
Do these sewers want to throw anything else at us? Oh, I don't know, greenskins maybe?
Fortunately, I think Unfortunately, I think there's only so much room in these tunnels. Although the sight of the greenskins splitting these creatures' skulls would be fascinating to see. I doubt will be so unfortunate.
Yes, well, greenskins usually don't congregate in tunnels. They prefer camps, out in the woods and barrens. They don't like to feel confined, as far as I understand. That's their lesser folk. The goblins.
All right, and that was the last flash you would have gotten.
Thank you.
I guess with a little bit of dead air, um, I'll let the wizard know. I guess the rest of the party too. I say, when facing down the skeleton menace, ensure that you use pulverizing objects and blunt weapons. They are far more effective at destroying the bones.
You hear the faint scratching of what sounds like a quill put to some kind of parchment or vellum, as the bandit has pulled a piece of a tattered piece of fat or paper from somewhere, and he just quickly hastily use blunting, destroy bones. All right, got it.
Oh, you're literate, my friend.
Oh, he looks around. Shit. Yeah, it was one of the reasons that I was left in charge down here.
No, you don't need to be ashamed. It's
Well,
nice to see the talent spreading.
Yeah, I was kind of the bastard son to some lesser tiny noble. It gave me enough time to get education to be able to read and write, but also gave me just enough of a taste of power to seek it in all the wrong places. Wow, my life really went the wrong way.
And now to see if the party understands the concept of discretion regarding valor.
And as soon as he says it went wrong, Oscar just looks around at this fucking charnel house of a sewer gateway. Just all the body parts, the various species, the mess, the debris. And he just says to himself, you and me both.
The former bandit's actually gonna laugh in spite of everything. And when we get out of here, if I get out of here, remind me to buy you a drink. To everything going wrong, as he looks around, the walls and the floor still stained with red.
The light of valor shines brightest in the darkness.
Alright, so the squire's going to, or the I keep calling him the squire. The former bandit's going to, yeah, Sage is going to quickly hop to and start dragging the rat bodies to a central location. Can
I'm going to recover my boot knife.
Yep.
I'm going to poke around the room and see what's in there.
I'll go with the lizard. Thess.
Yes.
Rodlin will also be joining them.
I'll let my squire, I'll give him a task. I say, make sure you neatly organize their skulls into a pile.
Oh, yeah, my liege, there is one problem with that, as he picks up the remnants of the one that you hit, and, have you ever seen the cross-section anatomical model?
Yeah.
That's what he's holding. Like, you did such an excellent job, my lord, that it now has two skulls.
Ah. Throw the halves in a sack and call it good.
Verily, and he'll just begin flensing the skin, just whistling slightly, like, I have lost control of my life.
Well,
are you? How anatomically familiar are you, Bandit? Or what was your name again?
Oh, they call me Sage, sir. I don't barely even remember my old name. I've got a little bit of training. He gestures down to where one of the bandits has had their arm removed. You, did a really good job at, applying the saw to our sawbones. I only really know how to treat minor wounds.
That's fine. They have me.
I am still surprised the wretched lizard is this good with anatomy.
Why? You have to understand how things work so you can kill them better. I mean, heal them.
Yeah, I'm really.
Hand in hand, greater than one expects.
I didn't even know scaly folk could talk. This has been such an enlightening day. Also,
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, also, the room in here, you need some kind of a light source, as it is very dark.
That's what I have torches for.
Perfect. There are wall sconces. You can, yeah, there are wall sconces. You can set them in. It'll illuminate the room.
Perfect.
I will meet shield for Thess and go wherever she does, but physically taking whatever wants to spring at her.
Yeah, I had something I was going to say in regards to the banter, and I can't remember now.
The lizard being smart, and I didn't know lizards could talk.
Oh, yes, thank you. Yes, of course we can talk. All of us can to some degree. You just can't speak our language. Also, where have you met other lizard folk?
Oh, I read it in a book somewhere that they said that lizards couldn't talk. That they tried to communicate with them, and the most they got out was, and he just kind of punches one hand into the other.
Yeah, that's usually the reaction when people poke around our territory. Well, their territory.
On
I'm
the
not
King
really
of
a lizard.
Lustria by Sebastian Crowell, I believe.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So often in diplomacy, it is far too late for one to realize or in new diplomacy, it is far too late that they realize the natures of their new friends and how really to get them to speak.
Yeah, the problem with me was always getting me to shut up.
I am beginning to notice that. It is rather endearing.
He starts to turn as red as some of the bloodstains on the floor. Thanks. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to skinning these rats.
Sounds like a good idea.
There is great honor in menial labor.
He beams.
Do you have a platitude for everything, Andre? I'm curious.
Of course. It is the way of chivalry.
He beams like a small child who was just told that the task he's doing was, and I quote, incredibly important.
You know, I'm starting to like this this bandit a little bit.
He was the only one you could recruit.
Everyone else was a pulp.
Everyone else was fucking no. I had them like all just kind of like vague notes here or there. That was the only one that would have had the common sense to join up with you if you'd given them a chance to stand down. If you'd taken him out, none of the rest of them would have stood down. He was the only one who was smart enough to realize, fuck it.
I'm not enough of a career criminal to die for this.
He got the he got the XP required to career switch. He went from rogue to squire.
Careered out.
He careered out. He switched trees.
Whether he was a rogue or just a basic fighter, he might have actually just got his career exit. Simply leveled up by being adopted.
Stage left.
Nope, this is my headcanon now. Why did you live? I career exited.
I career exited from suicidal idiot to impromptu squire.
Plot twist: next time we show up, he's gonna have his own character sheet.
Thess?
Yes.
I have your back, Thess.
Awesome. Thank you. Excellent. Let's see what's in this room.
I would like to assist you to both as well. He says. Then he's going to attempt to light up his staff. Where is that? Where is that? There it is.
I will, while are we walking down the tunnel, I'm assuming, GM?
Yep.
I'll kind of aside Rodolin, because I'm ignorant to the winds of magic. And I'll ask, doth the winds of necromancy answer to your beck and call, or is that not quite your forte?
Not quite as much. The wind
Good.
of death is, yes. Oh, I quite agree.
That's quite the vile magic.
I should quite know so. I had a brother who dabbled in it.
He would be no brother of mine, quite post-haste.
Oh, that I'd be quite certain. He's seldom a brother of mine in thought. Haven't seen him in decades. Oh. How goes your family and their matters? We have not had much chance to speak upon your kin.
Well, what's there to say? Father's busy always fighting greenskins, and brother's off in the Pegasus Knights. And I'd rather not go on another crusade to Kemri. A blasted land, that is.
Oh, I should tell you about the time I got drunk with a peasant there.
I beg your pardon?
Sorry. Oh yeah, I can understand. I can certainly understand that attitude. I should tell you about the time I got drunk with a peasant there and wound up 2 provinces over. It was quite a very sore.
I'd prefer to never set foot in those damned lands again. If it can be avoided.
I understand that notion deeply as well. Wonder if we'll come away with that attitude from these underground dwellings.
Possibly, but we don't always get to choose where we go.
True, though I'd prefer to answer any enemies with lance. That's quite hard in a tunnel.
While we're talking as you walk in here, do we see any other exits to this room? The rats got in here somehow. Or did they go through those?
Everyone give me an additional perception check. With a +10, since there are only a handful of ways in or out. You have the addition of the dancing shadows to aid you.
I passed with an 8.
Ooh. Hardly need the help.
Makes sense considering what I wanted to say.
I passed with I just barely passed.
Oh, let's see here. So I keep moving my note card. Kind of. I passed, but only by 1 point.
Go ahead, Mr. 8.
I say. Yes, well, in these provinces, all these ancient sewer networks and tunnels are of dwarven make. As a people, they like to hide entrances. Perhaps knocking on the walls can reveal a hollow space behind them.
Moving around the room and letting the light of Rodellin's staff dance off of a few things. It would be over in this. Oh, right, these are both locked. It would be over in this nook back here that there appears there was something boarded up, or not boarded up, stoned over with the bricks. However, they were far of different quality, and the hasty work shows.
I pointed out to the pair of my friends. I say, "Look, see the human brickwork interlaced with the dwarven work? Entirely different stones."
But I think we might have our entrance. Rodlin says, approaching over and getting a better position so the light from his staff shines brighter upon the area.
We'll be taking a look at that. Is it completely sealed over?
Hang on.
My first instinct is to send my new squire at it with Oscar's sledgehammer.
It looks partially sealed over, though you're fairly sure, given your strength, that even if you took one of the smaller stones, something like this, something like that, you could likely heft it through the wall. I don't really have a broken wall tile, unfortunately, that I can find quick.
You're good. Thank you anyways, friend. Does Tabletop Simulator take STL files?
I believe so.
Yes, I believe it does. I know that there's ways to integrate Hero Forge models in.
I might have a bunch of files from like very similar tiles to this, but I think they'll probably be untextured, because they're just not colored or anything like that. But if you just dye them gray or something like that, but we'll talk about that later.
I was going to say there's actually a lot of free texture models that exist. Hang on, I can do something real quick.
Yeah, just
But
honestly.
yeah, I was going to say, if you want to give me a quick strength check while you're testing the wall.
Sure. Although I'm not nearly as strong as you imagine, probably I'm pretty average.
No, that's fine.
We're sporting a 30. So let me roll. 96. Is that a fumble?
Well, it's definitely, yeah, no, you go to test it and you're like, it's definitely not dwarven, but that's still some solid brickwork.
Let me take a look. Let me push at this thing and humans. We all think alike. We could do this. Yeah, I'll push on it. That's a strength check successful. It's a 38 out of 40. Or 38 out of... What is my strength? No, that is not successful. Fuck. It's a 38 out of 35.
Okay, no, that is successful. This is not... This is kind of brittle. So as you give it a good, solid push, it doesn't completely shatter away the stone, but you're able to push through enough that your hand goes completely through the wall. You can see a void behind it. And while you're looking around, you can see a spot below that's just a collection of dirt, dust, and other cobbled together things. It's more than likely there's another hole somewhere around in the room.
Okay.
And you would eventually find there's another hole over here that one of the rats would have been able to, or that a rat could squeeze through. But the tunnel connects down and around.
Ah, so it's just purely a little rat tunnel?
No. This is not purely a rat tunnel. You found the actual, like, tunnel connection. But there is an actual rat tunnel over here. They made shit, how do I do this? They essentially made a workaround tunnel since they couldn't get through this spot. But they could smell stuff on the other side of here.
Well, it looks like they've eaten away at the stonework.
They will eat almost anything.
Mayhaps one of you gather the troops and inform them of this entrance?
Absolutely. I guess I'll go and get the others, see what they're up to. Hey, we found a hole, a tunnel. It looks like it goes deeper in.
I'd be deeply appreciated that.
Oscar, was there a point where we were going to start taking bets if they just stopped talking that they'd all died, right?
Yes. I was somewhat waiting to see which one of us would come out on top.
Morning, go ahead. Makes her way inside, has a look around. Secret passage.
And we are at the point where we have just found a random hole and we're going, yes, that seems like a sensible course of action.
Of course we are. Random holes in the ground are where evil is found.
Alright, so are any of you going to investigate the random hole?
Verily. I guess I'll go first. I'll be the guinea pig.
I was going to say, well, it would have been a glory.
Hold on. Is this hole going like down? Is it at an angle? What's its curve?
It is pretty steep down into the earth. Going over with a light, you can see any kind of a pathway that may have been, looks like it's been eroded by time.
Is it like a natural cavern?
There's definitely evidence of some stone that was worked, but there's also a lot, or the bottom looks like it had been worked, the top looks more natural.
Well,
before any of us attempts to go down in there, I should probably do something. And I'm going to go over and hold the butt of my staff above the above the hole, just on pressing into the stonework above it. I'm going to cast a spell. Now I'm going to cast the spell Omen. I'm going to attempt to divine if someone crawling down this thing is actually a good idea. Or if it would be a very, very bad one.
I love that that's a spell.
Yeah. Let me see if it's only a what's the casting number?
I think 12, if I remember.
4.
It's the same. Oh,
Yeah, weird enough. Omen is only 4. It does require a check again after that, so I'm just gonna toss 1 die. It's a oath. Nah, I don't want to waste a minute. I'm going to use. I already cast a spell earlier. That lets me reroll dice.
That is true.
I will use one of those uses here. 8. Double the casting number.
Oh, fantastic. All right. So you cast your wizard staff into the, well, I mean, not actually throw, but you point the tip of the rod into the open cavernous maw, and you consult with the winds for a moment. What is the depth of the information it gives you?
It gives me. I name a particular action, and it gives me favorable or unfavorable.
All right. Since you managed to get double the casting number, I will give you 2 questions.
Okay. Then I will say.
What were the questions?
Question number 1 is. Or I list. Oh, let's see.
Did you list an action or a
Yes, I
statement
list.
of course of direction?
Yes, a course of action. Specifically, one of myself or another one of my compatriots crawling down this hole to investigate it.
Uh, Favorable.
Okay. And which one of us had already volunteered?
Yep. Andre had second question.
Okay. Then I'm
Or
going to ask if it would be a good idea for Andre to pray and give himself a bolstering prayer beforehand.
unfavorable.
Hmm. Mm, I see. All right, he's going to finish muttering and pluck his staff off of the top of the butt of his staff off the top of the thing, and he says, "All right, that should do it. But be careful. I have a feeling there may be something down there that can detect strange presences. I think it would be wisest if Andre, you were to go rather than one of us. Or one of us rather than myself or Lucia."
of course. Bretonian armor is quite good at deflecting blows, and your flesh is not. I will volunteer myself as tribute.
5
All right.
crowns. 5 crowns. We have to go save the night in 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'll take that action. Why not?
All right. Are you grabbing a torch?
I will put 3 crowns against that our friend is well. So long.
Why is it that the mage is the only one who believes in me?
It's not that I don't believe in you, it's that I believe fate is fundamentally against us, my friend.
Look, it's not that I don't believe in you, it's that we're going to have to come save you, I know it.
Well, once more onto the breach, and
Wait. Oh no. I'm actually. You know what? I'm doing a silly. I'm going to attempt to cast Omen and ask and see if actually betting against having to save you is a good idea.
how dare
How dare you violate the grounds of the Deadpool, sir, with magic?
make a gambling check.
Oh my god, you know what?
Yeah,
Sure, no
go ahead.
magic, just gambling.
Yeah, go ahead, make a gambling check.
Alright, let's see this.
Wait, I have gambling as a skill?
I use my other reroll for the hour against that 87.
You're actually using a reroll.
Somehow.
Holy crap.
Well, there goes our last audience fate point for this.
You know what? No, I am going to take a GM fate point because I appreciate the commitment to the bit.
I have I have friends who have such confidence in me.
Hey, there is another reason I was taking this bet. Oh no, there's another reason. There is the low-key advantage of, hey, if I magically figure out that betting against needing to save you is a bad idea, then lo and behold, we can get prep time.
God damn it. You're out of line, but you've got a point.
Although it occurs to me that you could have just asked that question without the gambling clause in it and had exactly the same effect.
Nah. It's
Not
worth
as
it.
much fun.
Yeah.
Alright, so Andre, into the breach?
Into the breach.
Alright. So the descent down is rather steep, and from this angle with the lights with the light sources above, you can see exactly how although it's amazing that something that large would have been able to wiggle through such a tiny opening. But you descend down a shorter distance than it might seem. There are remnants of stonework that look like this may have, at one point in time, been a passageway. But getting to the base of it, there are a couple of the smaller rats, like you had seen before, that upon seeing the fire simply opt to flee deeper into the darkness through some rat tunnels. But the other main thing that you would see is a collapse of the tunnel where it looks like thousands of pounds of earth have caved in and sealed off an entrance. Though you can see that it looked like it continued down quite a way. Give me 2 perception checks, please.
I don't
If
like
you
that it's 2, but okay.
if you have anything, let me see the exact skills. I want to say engineering, but
Nah. I don't have engineering. That's for
no.
nerds like the master.
If you have, yeah, any kind of, actually, I will let you roll academic knowledge Britonia for this. For the first one, I need perception for the
Alright.
second one.
First one is the knowledge out of 53. 16, so that's a pretty banging success. And then perception, we're rolling that one raw. Half my skill. I forget, round up or down in the system fee?
Hi, hi, hi.
Down for
This
everything.
bag of hugs for
Down for everything,
$5.
got it.
Hold.
Then we're
2 for the GM.
For everyone as
21.
refilled Moon's GM points, you're at max GM points, Moon. You have all 3.
No on the perception, and I'm not gonna re-roll that. So, resounding success on the knowledge, no on the perception.
How far off on the perception?
Like 20 off.
Damn it. Okay. As you look at some of the surviving stonework, you can make out there's definitely nothing distinct about it. Not anything that an average person would be able to make out. But there's some older what you would what you would know as classical style building, but there's some old Bretonian stonework techniques that seem to have found their way into this place. Just the way of laying the bricks to lock them together and such. But next to that, there also seems to be dwarven reinforcements of the stonework. It's part of the reason that this area has survived so long. But the architecture is overlapping and almost haphazard, as though something was just came in, set up shop over what was already there. But aside from those handful of actual, well, not that anything in this is a normal sized rat, but those rat sized rats, they take off, they see the fire and smell the death on you and are simply not keen to throw down.
I'll give a foot push at the rubble pile and see if it gives it all.
You managed to get a single stone to move, but no, it does not give. It seems to be a solid wall at this point. There's a couple of rats' nests and the remains of bones and such. But for the most part, it looks like this area was just housing a small population of rats.
Okay. I'll ascend back to the group and I'll let them know not much there besides a rat's nest. Tunnel ends in a collapse.
Normal rats or problem rats?
A bit of both.
We should burn nest. Seal tunnel.
I
Well, it
do
was
have my
sealed.
black powder for my rifle. We could send it down there.
I believe she said, light it on fire, not blow it to smithereens.
Correct.
Not sure of the structural stability of this place. Seems pretty haphazard.
I was going to say Sage would pop up. Someone needs some black powder?
Oh, Lord.
I think we're discussing the need, but we are not yet certain.
Well, if you want to blow up the hole, then that's your call.
Oh, no, I'm not advocating anything of the like. I was just simply saying that one of the barrels that we found happened to be about half full with the black blasting powder.
Oscar?
Well, if nothing else, we can use that to collapse the tunnel if that's the path we want to take. If Otherwise not, I would definitely like to take that barrel back to our accommodation with us. Black powder is not cheap by any means, and 2 of us are using weapons that require it, so securing a supply would not hurt us.
I'll cross my arms and say, it does seem like it could lead somewhere. It was a worked tunnel at one point, so blowing it clear could lead us somewhere. Where, I don't know, but we could always check the other side of the dungeon that we hadn't before.
I will say in a
Wise
confined
policy.
space like this, setting off any significant explosion is going to send a shockwave through this chamber. So at the very least, we need to evacuate into the first room that we came into, if not all the way back out to the staircase prior to an explosion. Just so, we make sure we all still have eardrums afterwards.
And considering the density of the rats, that could be a dinner bell.
I, for one, would not be keen on being here when the rats come pouring through the walls.
Well,
not to mention the lack of structural integrity. If things go wrong, we could end up collapsing part of the streets or any buildings that are directly above where we are, which would not go well for anybody.
Well, I trust the engineer on this one.
Overall, I think we should veto the cause an explosion in an underground tunnel plan.
To the other side, then?
We should stop. Have we searched these boxes yet?
No.
It may be a good idea.
Yes, let's
Yes.
do that before we leave. After that, let's try and stuff this hole with something worthwhile, even if it isn't a permanent solution. We'll at least know if any rats have come back through.
I'll get Sage on organizing a wood pile to throw down there and burn, just so that the rat's nest is gone.
I will assist Sage with that. It's an area I have expertise, and Oscar feels slightly bad about this person apparently being given all the menial duties.
All right. Do you want them to go actually down below and start the fire there, or just light fire and yip it into the hole?
Yeah, the latter. I mean, in my opinion.
I think building a fire just deep, say an arm's length inside the entrance, and then hucking a few flaming sticks in there to set the whole lot off, should smoke out the tunnels and cause a collapse without too much risk of collateral damage. So I'm in favor of that plan.
Also, just kill all the rats. They'll suffocate. Or get flushed out. Either one.
Yeah, you will absolutely rat off that area.
Yeah, probably for the best.
All right. Then we will time skip forward. Oscar, I need just a general engineering, academic engineering from you.
Oh no.
Oh, just no, for the quality of the fire and the smoking and everything. That you do not have to make a check to start a fire.
19.
No, that's a 9, homie.
Oh, that is
wait,
a
what?
9.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a 9.
Oh, that is delightful. Okay, so it will take well, with hit assistance, it will take Oscar about 45 minutes to get the fire set up and built in such a way that it will essentially flood the area below it with smoke, carbon dioxide, and such. but that will also give everyone enough time to patch their wounds, loot the rest of the chests, barrels, and such. And that will give everyone a chance to stand up and stretch IRL.
Awesome. Thank you.
I will seek out food.
I shall seek out some as well.
Good work, team.
Yes, we shall see y'all and chat as well in 5 minutes or so.
That
Yep.
works.
Well,
I will go.
I know Doodle doesn't
What's up?
have that much more time to stay up. We can stop here and get to the next room next session.
Yeah, because
That would work for me.
I would like to be in bed by 11, and it is already 10 by my time.
Okay, then instead of stopping for a break, I will finish up the last description of this room real quick. All right. As Oscar and Sage manage to get the fire going and get everything in, Sage would have come over with just a sorted, what look like stray blacksmith's tools, but Oscar would be able to identify them as a set of bellows. It's like, hey, the drunkards were just having fun playing with these, but it makes a lot of air. Is this something we'd be able to use?
That is absolutely perfect, Mr. Sage. Thank you.
Yeah. But there's all sorts of very, very dry, non-rotted wood throughout this place. And by the time you're done, you have a small bonfire going inside of the tunnel, tossing a handful of burning planks into the hole. The smoke builds up a little bit. There's occasional crackle. The sound you make if you take a handful of leaves and throw them onto a fire as you catch one of the nests. There's a very faint bit of squeaking as one of them had been inhabited, but aside from some very frustrated weeks, there's no further sound that comes out of the down below as everything is flushed out of the descending caverns.
Superior rat removal through engineering.
Oh, Mr. Oscar, that was amazing to watch. I thought for sure they were going to have to do something with the black fire powder and well, he looks kind of conspiratorially and leans in slightly to not whisper into Oscar's ear, but whisper near him. Just, I was afraid that they were going to have to use one of those red candles I found.
I do beg your pardon, Mr. Sage. A red... Oh no, you found dwarven blasting charges. Oh no.
I made sure to keep it away from the idiots.
Oh no, I have seen those. They are... Take
I-
me to them
I was-
immediately, please.
I was just going to sell them. But you actually look like you know what you're doing.
Tell me, Mr. Sage, when you said you were going to sell them, was this because you acquired them legitimately or you found them while scavenging down here?
I found them while scavenging down here, but they actually were packed up pretty well. They had been in one of those smaller wooden chests, packed in with hay and straw and rolled tight in fabric.
Okay, yes, we are definitely looking at blasting charges. Okay, yes, I will absolutely take them off of your hands here. And Oscar is going to make some room in his already rather heavy haversack and is going to start making a little padded area to.
You can hear the exhaustion drain out of the former bandit's voice. Just oh good. I was so worried they were going to end up somewhere, but all I could think is that I'd finally be able to eat a hot meal.
You would like a hot meal?
I was about to say,
I can
Thesserau
arrange
should
that.
be able to help.
We have
Oh,
fire.
hi. He just turns and looks longingly at the pits of hell that have opened over there. Oh, we have so much fire.
Excellent. I haven't cooked over a fire quite like this, but I think I can arrange something. I'll unshoulder my bag and start pulling out provisions. I think I'm going to cook a meal.
Your provisions have all gone bad.
Oh. Well, fuck.
Yeah,
Excuse me. Damn it.
Yeah, unfortunately, all of the provisions that everyone was carrying have more or less gone sour. Any field rations or hardtack, stuff that, mold has to fight tooth and nail to get a foothold on, that stuff's fine. So, like, trail rations and stuff, those would be alright. But any of the better, your spices are okay, because those really can't, those you have to actively go out of your way to make go bad.
Yeah.
But fresh ingredients, fruits and the like, those are all unfortunately.
Well, it's hardtack, spices, and sauces, I think.
Oscar is just going to pull a small wedge of Hockland blue cheese out of his rations, and given how moldy blue cheese is anyway, he's debating whether or not it's actually been affected. It's kind of 50-50.
It got better.
No, you've ruined the blue cheese by making it better.
No, I mean like it's cheese with blue.
Okay, that's an odd 5 for a cooking roll.
That's a crit, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that is a crit.
So it's hardtack. I've got water. We have blue cheese. I have some trail rations.
So on a crit.
And spices.
You remember one of the elves that you used to travel with taught you this strange cooking technique for how to use food that had already gone bad.
Ah, yes.
And there are bits that you still, like, they're just completely gone. The meat can't be eaten. But some of the fruits and the vegetables, they've started to pickle.
Yes. I can do this. Use the sour flavors and the yes.
Yeah, on a crit cooking check, you figured out how to use rotten food correctly.
Like what? Like hardtack and like blue cheese sauce?
Well, okay, so in the real world, like kimchi is basically rotted cabbage, right? It is. No, but my point is it is an edible food. It is a pickled rotted cabbage with a lot of spices. So there's ways in, like, that's just a very common example, but there are literally hundreds of them world round. We don't typically think of them in Western culture, and by Western culture I mean anything that comes from Europe, as proper ways of cooking. But they're out there, and apparently Thess understands them.
I was just going to say sauerkraut exists.
It's lutefisk.
Yeah, Scandinavia certainly is no stranger to it.
No.
But yeah, no, she's able to rifle through her stuff and find some. The whims of magic accidentally turned some of your ingredients into pickles.
Okay, well, we'll make use of it proper.
I do apologize. I believe that was one of my spells that went a little overzealous.
That's perfectly fine. I can make this work.
So magic really does just do whatever it likes when things go wrong, huh?
Yeah, it just.
Magic
Yeah.
is a very. It's not just. There's more to it than the strategy, the math. It's living, it pulls, it's like swinging a sword, but that sword has a mind of its own. Often you can lead and guide the sword as much as you swing it. You can pull and push it, and that sword will leap to your command, but other times it's twists and curls and goes in ways you didn't expect or pushes against your design. In this
This-
particular case, I'm sorry, do you have something to say?
I was just going to say this is why I prefer engineering. 2 plus 2 will always equal 4. It can't get a funny idea in its head and decide to be 9.
I've met some mages who would quite agree with you.
It'd be about that point in time, Sage pokes his head into the room. Just, my lords, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I was wondering why I now have a glass bottle of cheese.
Roddle and our lovely skin and bone wizard here may have accidentally touched the wrong wind of magic. You should go pray to Sigmar. Pray that he didn't rot the food that was already in your belly.
Oh, that hadn't even occurred to me. That is going to be a disservice to Thess's breakfast if that happened.
I shudder to think the winds of magic do.
Thankfully, Sigmar protects your stomachs.
May have. No.
Here,
Rather than
I have food for
definitely
everyone.
ruin the food.
My God. Hello.
Hi.
Okay. But yeah, I will have the loot list of what you scavenge out of the chests, the stray crates, and off of the bandits.
Okay.
And yep, as this is a pretty good stopping point, next time we'll have you delving into the other side of the room.
While Oscar's kind of like busy doing his own thing, I'll approach him and kind of like whisper. I'll say, I know things are a little different here in Nuln in your foundries and forges, but do keep in mind not to mention any of your ideas about unionization to my squire.
The light of progress will shine where it may, good Sir Knight. It is not up to me to direct the lantern.
Quite. We handle things differently in Bretonia.
Yes, I believe the only time the light of progress is used is on the bottom of a witch's bonfire.
I resemble this remark, and it makes me uncomfortable.
Oh, no, we wouldn't dare burn one of you. You're quite a decent folk, after all.
Would it even be possible to burn an ice witch? I feel like you could just repeatedly put the flames out whenever they tried.
Maybe they'd boil? Well, purely practical terms, apologies. Unsettling.
Forgive me. It's simply the irony of the irony of the moment.
The irony of the moment.
all the discussions about, but
Burning.
the irony of comrades discussing the. It seemed to have an ironic humor to me. Such more forgive me. My mind is out to see the light and light and humor in even the grimmest topics.
No, believe me, I've witnessed human death for the first time in my life today, so anything we can do to lighten the mood is absolutely fine with me, believe me.
Perhaps I ought to tell you all a story. One that includes actually a bit of and magic and perhaps even one that is a bit of magic going. Oh yeah, includes a bit of magic going awry. For the theme of the conversation, a story about a sausage competition in the lands of the halfling.
I don't know if I want to see a wizard's sausage.
I don't know if I want to discuss a food competition in the land of the halflings. The last time one of those happened, millions died.
Yes, quite yes, quite the miracle this only turned out to have one house fire.
Countess Emmanuel has put strict limits on halflings being allowed within Nuln. I begin to see why.
I'll give Oscar a hearty, maybe a too hard of a pat on the back, and try to comfort him. I'll say, worry not, dear Oscar. Killing a man gets easier. And that's it. That's it.
I say we should vacate this room before Oscar sets off Big Bomba.
I agree.
And with that, unless somebody else has something to add, we should wrap up so
Yeah.
people can get to sleep. Anyway, I have been playing Lucia. Next time, I will remember to do introductions.
While Lucia's like, we should vacate this room. You just hear from out in the other room the sound of Sage still prepping the rats, something being removed, and just, hey, I found a silver.
Oh, the charm of simple folk.
Kings tell stories of conquests, but the common folk tell stories all far more personal.
Yep. Hi, I'm Sophie. I'm Doodle. I play Thesserau, human from Lystria.
Ah, yes. Hello. I have been playing Oscar Hertzsprung. My name otherwise is Albion. It has been a delight to play for an audience, and we look forward to seeing you all next week.
Hey, I'm Shiny, and I've been playing Andre the Knight. And it's been a lovely time playing with my compatriots and being before your very gaze. See you all next week on our noble quest.
And I am Aphid, and I've been playing Rodelen the Wandering Mage, who wishes you all a most pleasant week full of success in your endeavors, pleasant sleep, and a quick and pleasant thought in all actions you take.
Moon.
Lord Moon.
Um, Thank you all for being here. It's good to. Oh no, I was. All I was going to say is, I have been Moon. Thank you for spending your time with us tonight. And thank you all of you for being here and listening to me ramble about dungeon misadventures for the past several hours, 5 hours.
Misadventures. It seems like we're off to a good adventure. We're already fighting rodents of unusual size.
I'd call that a dungeon misadventure.
Given the presence of Skaven, wouldn't these be average size?
At
And
what point we start getting into conversations about, hey, it's featherless and it's biped.
Inland Zombie here. I've been your recapper and such, known as Cletus. I always tell tales for ales. Remember, tune in next time. Same rat channel, same rat time.
All right. I would like to thank Furry1 for the tip, Alexter for the tip, Rotkiv, thank you for the host. Final Sight, thank you for the host. Chick, thank you for the host. Tarib, you've been here for 64 months. You are the quietest long-term person I have. Furry1, thank you for throwing gifts up at Heronia Pearl. And that's everything for tonight. We will see you all next week for this.
Be safe.
I have saved. I am now handing you the save.
Yay.
Like, literally, I am... The reason why I'm talking funny is because I am stopping to find the save file and pass it to you.
Faster.
Yeah.
Anyway.
64 months is a long time.
Yeah.
We will see you all tomorrow. It is in Documents, My Games, Tabletop Simulator, Saves. Latest save file is... I put these two files in your My Documents, My Games, Tabletop Simulator saves. They're uploading now. Anyway, good night, everyone. Thank you all for being here. Hopefully we can get this down pat so we can give you guys a solid 4 hours every week, but it takes time to get everyone in order and situated and get Moon and my schedules to shift back in a couple hours. Anyway.
Yeah. We should ideally be aiming to start
the couch.
we need to be aiming to start between like 6:30 at the latest.
Why are we trying to move the couch?
There's only one reason.
Because it's not properly placed. It doesn't match the feng shui of the dungeon.
Yeah, and I mean, it was at a point where...
Shadow needs you to come move the couch because the cushion tried to go up his butt.
Oh no. We're at a point where the last 40 minutes would have been simply been preparatory actions for
it's just
next time.
3 this time.
Anyway, everyone, all players, say goodnight, players. Good night, players.
Good night,
Good night,
players.
Good night, everyone.
I can talk over you.